Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome, one and all. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is the day. 10 years ago, Trump came down the escalator and he said he's going to make America great again. And they have put him through living hell for 10 years. And today is Inauguration Day. And if you're watching live, we are 6 hours, 11 minutes, and 20 seconds away from Trump being sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. Now, we're not on the radio yet. We'll be on the radio in about 15 minutes, maybe a little less. So you're getting the pre-show here, and I'm so excited. Now, the media, you know, the liberal media that hate Trump like the plague, you know, they're still very numb about everything that's happened. And obviously, the release of these lady hostages by the terrorist is in Israel is, you know, handing them back to Israel is big news. But they're using it to not cover the Trump inauguration for as long as they can put it off, right? You know, they're so numb to it, they can't handle it. So they're doing everything they could do not to cover the inauguration. It's a big story. But, you know, if you look at it with the release of the hostages, it's such a parallel to Reagan in January 81 on his inauguration day when the Iranians released the American hostages because in Tehran, because these are Iranian hostages too, right? Because Hamas is Iran. And Iran is funded by Biden and us. So, but, you know, it's such a parallel to it. You know, and Biden can run around and claim credit, you know, till doomsday that Trump had nothing to do with this. No one's going to buy that. Everyone knows that Trump did this, right? Now, if you want to call in early before the radio show starts, you can. The phone is on. You are welcome to call in. If you're watching live, the toll-free number is pinned in the live chat. It's 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And, of course, I'm going to cover the inauguration. You know, that rally on the radio today, that's going to be, you know, what I'm going to lead with. That rally in D.C. was beautiful, wasn't it? It was the best. You know, the thing about the rally, I was so wrong about it. When Trump first announced the rally, I thought it was a bad idea. I did not realize it was going to be inside at first. For some reason, because I was thinking about the rally that he had there last time, and you know what they did with that rally. But I thought it was going to be outside. But it was perfect. And my opposition to the rally, which I was very wrong about, is I was just concerned about him. You know, I mean, Trump is so important and so precious to us. Without Trump, we're done. So we can't afford anything to happen to Trump. We need Trump to be in perfect health. And I was just nervous about him doing a rally. But then when I found out it was inside, okay. And of course, with the weather being so bad, too, you know, it was good. So it was a perfect rally. It really was the best rally. And you know, seeing the rally on television, and I've been to so many Trump rallies and Trump events of different sizes, and they've all been exciting. And I know a lot of you have probably been to a lot of Trump events too. They're all exciting, but that one was the best, wasn't it? Even though I wasn't there, it was the best because he's back. And to have him back is just so amazing. I've been calling it the Trump miracle, and it is the Trump miracle. And all of us are responsible for it. You know, President Trump said last night that when he takes that oath of office, we're all taking the oath of office today that have supported him. And, you know, the media, I watched some of the liberal media over the weekend, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. They don't understand his popularity. They are so numb and in shock on MSNBC and CNN. And, Fox News, I guess Paul Ryan has lost his juice over at Fox News because they had a panel all afternoon and evening celebrating the rally. I have not seen Fox News so excited. They brought in top talent on a Sunday. Some of the, they had the 5 there on a Sunday. All the people all day were all dressed up. And the way I was describing, I mentioned this earlier on the stream I did a little while ago, it was like the Oscars. It was like they were covering the Oscars. They were so dressed up and excited. And that's nice to see. It's very nice to see. Yeah, we're not just witnessing history, we're living through it. We are living in just an amazingly historical time. And you want to savor it because there's never going to be another moment like this ever again. I'm just doing a sound checking. There's never going to be another Trump. We're never going to have anything like this ever again. Yeah, one thing he talked about, and if anybody knows the details, he said that that he made a deal with China on TikTok, and I want to share some thoughts on TikTok on the radio today because my wife had a very good theory. She brought it up on the podcast last night, but I want to bring it up today. By the way, if you're new to my channel, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. If you're already subscribed, if you could like the video, that would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you know when I go live, because you know me, I'm doing live streams all the time. And I will be doing live streams from California when I'm there over the weekend with my daughter. My daughter does not, so I'm going to be getting up at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, her time, right? She'll be going to bed when I'm getting up. And so I'll be live streaming from California because I'll be up and my daughter won't. I'll probably be on my daughter's back porch live streaming. But I'm excited to go see her. I miss her. But my wife had some very interesting theory about TikTok I'm going to get into on the radio today. We'll be on the air in just a few minutes. I'm just waiting to hear from Mike about what time we go live on the air. This is the pre-show, guys. We're not on the radio yet. So if you're watching me now, you're getting the pre-show, the pre-radio show. But the, oh yeah, it's beautiful. The thing that he said about TikTok, he said President Trump said he made a deal with China so that the United States would own 50% of TikTok. He says if China can, China owns 51% of everything. Yeah, like Disney has a Disneyland in China. The CCP owned 51% of it. That's how it works. Communist police state. But he said he made a deal where the United States will own 50% of TikTok, and it sounded like he meant that the United States government would own TikTok. Let me see how much money TikTok makes. My wife knew. She told me last night, but I forgot. Does anyone know how much TikTok makes a year? Let me see. How much? I'll Google it. Does TikTok make per year? Let me Google that. Let me look that up. According to recent data, TikTok is estimated to generate about $16 billion in annual revenue, mainly due to global advertising revenue reaching $18.5 billion in 2024. So that's $9 billion, and it's going to go up, right? So that's $9 billion, and he didn't say a private company. He said the United States, so I took that to mean the U.S. government. So does that mean that the United States government is going to own half of TikTok, and we're going to make like $10 billion a year off of it? See, what President Trump wants to do, it's obvious, isn't it? Get rid of the income tax. the income tax is backbreaking. You know, it really is. You know, the one I'm debt free. I wasn't always. My wife and I, you know, like everybody else, when you get married, you know, you do stupid stuff and charge up credit cards and all that stuff. But you know, at the age I'm at now, I'm debt free. I don't count like I have a car payment on my wife's car. My car I own outright, but I don't have a bunch of credit cards and everything else. The one expense every year that I have to put money aside for are my income taxes. You know, I have to pay every quarter. I have to pay taxes, and then sometimes I owe still more at the end of the year. So it depends, you know, on things. And that's the one thing every year it's over my head. And if I didn't have income taxes, you know, life would be much easier for me. Life would be much easier. You know, I wouldn't have to work 7 days a week. I could work maybe 6. I could take a day off. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh my goodness. And, you know, President Trump, that's one of the reasons he's talking about the import taxes, so he can get rid of that income tax burden from the American people. But this TikTok thing, if he means the U.S. government is going to own half of TikTok, you know, half the country are on TikTok. If that means that the U.S. government is going to own half of TikTok, and we're going to already we would be making $10 billion a year for the U.S. government off of TikTok. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? I think it's amazing. And I'm waiting to hear from Mike because we're still not on the radio. This is the pre-radio show you guys are getting right now, all right? So Michael texts me what time we're coming on live on the radio, and I got a digital clock over here. It's 15 seconds after the top of the hour. So I am just waiting for him to text me, and then we'll go over this. But I wonder if Trump has plans, because didn't you take it as that the U.S., when he said that the U.S. government is going to own half of TikTok? That's the deal he made. So I wonder what other plans he has for the United States to be in business and generate revenue from things. Sounds pretty cool to me. I would certainly rather TikTok pay than the American taxpayer for things. I tell you, yeah. How many times have you heard your whole life? Okay, we are going to be live on the air in 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. We'll be live on the radio. Hope you guys enjoy the pre-show. Just over 2 minutes, we will be live. You know, that's amazing. Yeah, they've said my whole life, you can't run the government like a business. Why not? Why not? Okay, then we'll, of course. Oh, boy, here we go. 2 minutes. Well, less than 2 minutes now, and we'll be live. If you're just joining me, my name is Brian. This is where Maggot comes to talk. I broadcast on 8 FM radio stations live and morning drive. And when I'm on the radio, we live stream on many places, but we live stream on YouTube if you're watching me on YouTube, iHeartRadio, and other places. And the phone lines are open, and I take calls from people listening on the radio as well as people watching on YouTube or listening on one of the other platforms. Okay. All right, stand by. We have 1 minute until we're live on the radio. Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. Yeah, the more I do the radio show from home, the more I'll be on early and sometimes stay late. When I get back from my trip this weekend and as the new month starts, I'll start doing even more of that. I'm kind of reorganizing my life and schedule with working at home more, which is, let me tell you, It's a great relief. The amount of stress that is relieved from me, not having to drive like 3 hours a day, that's to and from, is amazing. All right, stand by. Welcome to the program. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. And of course, today is the day. It is Trump's Inauguration Day. I am so excited. I got goosebumps just as I said that. I really did. I got goosebumps. The Trump miracle continues, and we are 5 hours and 56 minutes exactly until President Trump is inaugurated. This is amazing. The golden age of America begins today at noontime, Eastern Standard Time. This is everything that we've advocated for 10 years. This is everything we've talked about. This is everything we've dreamed of. You know, we are getting what we want, what we deserve, and what we've worked for. And this is the greatest Republican victory in history. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. There's never been something like this. I'm so glad that Sylvester Stallone is one of these Hollywood ambassadors and is MAGA now, because what Trump's gone through in these last 4 years is a textbook comeback story, which is a Rocky story. This is a Rocky story. They've done everything they could do to stop this guy. And when I watched that rally last night in Washington, D.C., and Trump came down the steps through the crowd on the red carpet, I was fighting tears back, weren't you? That rally in Washington, D.C. was the best rally I've ever seen. That rally was better than the ones that I've been to in person, even though I was watching this one on television. It was the most exciting rally I've ever seen, even comparing it to the ones that I've been to in person. And that's saying a lot, because we've won. You know, we're not campaigning, we're not struggling, we're not fighting, we're not advocating. We've won. That's it. We won. Now we got it. And Trump knows exactly what to do. And things are going to happen fast today, man. Things are going to happen fast. We got a lot to cover on the program today. And because a lot's happened over the weekend. I'm, of course, going to talk about the rally. All of you are welcome to call in. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. I want to talk about the rally, though, first, and there's a lot of things to talk about. One of the things Trump brought up, I want to bring this up before I forget, because this, there's so many things going on. President Trump dropped some really big news that the media hasn't grabbed onto. And the media did cover the rally. Fox News covered the rally last night of President Trump's in Washington, D.C. properly. I was watching on Right Side Broadcasting, but then when I saw the coverage on Fox, I watched it all on Fox News, guys. I cut away from Right Side Broadcasting and watched it on Fox News. And I was blown away by the respect that Fox News channel, as a channel, gave to President Trump, right? I mean, they not only did they cover the rally, they put on a show covering the rally. They brought in some of their top talent on a Sunday afternoon. They had Jesse Waters, Gutfeld, Perino, Judge Janine. They brought in the five, okay? And that was great. And the way I described it, is the way that Fox News handled that rally. They handled it like they were covering the Academy Awards, which was appropriate because this was bigger than any Oscar ceremony. But the way they carried the rally was spectacular. appropriate. And I'm glad they did it, Fox News. You know, the way they handled that rally was perfection for Fox News. I've never seen coverage like that. It was great. But President Trump dropped something in that rally that I wanted to throw out to you guys to see if you have any info on this that I've missed, because the media didn't pick up on it, and it involves TikTok. And I know a lot of people, you may not be interested in TikTok. Half of the United States population is on TikTok. Half the country is on TikTok, maybe even more than half the country. So it's big. And what President Trump said last night about TikTok at the rally was something I've never heard said by a president of the United States before. And President Trump said it, and then he didn't get into details about it. So I think I know what he meant, but I was a little confused. And if he meant what I think he meant, this is one of the most exciting things I've ever heard from a president, and it was this. He said he made a deal with China. And the deal he made was that since they own half of it, he wants to own half of it. So the deal he made is he's lifting the ban on TikTok, President Trump, so long as the United States owns 50% of it. Now, he didn't say an American company. He said the United States. So did President Trump mean that the United States government is going to own half of TikTok? Does the United States own any other companies other than like CIA front companies, right? I'm talking about like, are there other companies that the U.S. government openly owns? You know, I just Googled this before I went on the air, and in 2024, now the completed numbers are not yet in, but it's estimated that in 2024, TikTok will have made $18.5 billion with a B. So if we own half of that, that means the United States is going to make about $10 billion a year right out the gate. And it's going to become more popular because Trump's given it his approval, even though half the country are already on it. So we're going to generate $10 billion with a B dollars a year from TikTok. Did he mean the U.S. government is going to own half of TikTok? See, what I think President Trump is angling to do here is do away with income tax. You know, income tax, the taxes that we pay in this country are insane. Insane. Okay? And, you know, income tax, it's crazy. They used to put out these estimates on how many months a year Americans had to work just to pay taxes. So with the import taxes, which used to fund, prior to the First World War, the entire United States government was funded on on import taxes, tariffs, which are fine. That's fine with me. I would rather the tariffs, the import taxes, I would rather China and Europe and Canada and all the countries of the world pay taxes, not me or you. And is President Trump angling for the United States to own some other companies and generate revenue in other ways? I don't know, but I am pretty sure that President Trump said that the U.S. government will own half of TikTok. Now, my wife on my podcast last night had an interesting thought about TikTok and the spyware. Now, you know, the order was that China had to sell TikTok. And they didn't want to sell. They wanted to hold on to that TikTok algorithm, which we have been hearing from everyone since TikTok has been on the scene, is spyware, high-tech spyware. And I've heard tech experts say that the spyware is the best in the world on TikTok, and that it's so good that actually, even if you don't have TikTok on your phone, they can get into your phone and your computers in your home through the spyware. And this is what they've reported, that if somebody has TikTok on their phone, and they connect to a Wi-Fi network that you're connected to. Like, say your kids have TikTok. You don't have TikTok, but they're connected on the Wi-Fi at home. That means the Chinese spyware from TikTok is in your computers and your phones too, if it's connected to that Wi-Fi. Same goes at work, right? If you use office Wi-Fi, if the receptionist is goofing around on TikTok all day and she's connected to the office Wi-Fi, the spyware on TikTok is in everybody's phones and computers at your work. Well, this is what my wife thought, because China just wouldn't give this up. My wife's thought was this, and I think she's right about this. I didn't at first, but the more I thought about it, it sounded, I think this is true. Maybe they don't have that great spyware on it. Maybe that's a lie, like everything else in China. You know, these communist countries all try to pretend that they're just as advanced and modern than the United States and have all this high tech. And I think my wife is right on, spot on the money, that the TikTok spyware may not even exist at all. Okay, beyond what a normal app does, right? We've all heard the things. If you're having a conversation, your phone's listening, and the next thing you know, your Facebook and Instagram feed is filled with ads about that thing. I remember once my wife and I, we were talking about getting a copper skillet, and then all of a sudden, we started getting ads on Instagram for copper skillets. Right? My wife was in the hospital. We were talking to the nurse about where she went to school to be a nurse, and then all of a sudden, my Instagram and Facebook feed is filled with ads for local nursing schools. So so maybe it's a big bluff that China has this super advanced, the most advanced spyware in the world. But I do know this, that half of the American people have TikTok, and it was key to President Trump's reelection that we're going to experience today. All right, we're going to take our first break of this inauguration day. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. If you're on hold, hang in there. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Okay. I took that break a little late. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, okay? We're in a break from the radio right now. Oh, I have so much to cover. 5 hours and 44 minutes. Okay. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You know, Mike, Mike's up there running the commercials, and he texts me what time we're coming back and what commercials we have that I have to do live. We're texting now. Okay, 18. Got a minute. Hold on, guys. Okay. $40 seconds.
Good
Doing some production for Mike.
Monday.
I barely have enough time to do it, but I'm going to get it done. There we go. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Now, of course, you are all invited to join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, for our Trump inauguration party at noon at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs. We're at the Sample Road location of Wings Plus in Coral Springs, which is about 1 mile west, about 1 mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. You can't miss Wings Plus. Just start looking, you'll see it. We'll be there at noon, and that's the inauguration time, and all the TVs in Wings Plus will be on the inauguration. There's plenty of parking. They have a very huge, long parking lot, and you can also park across the street, all right? So we'll see you at Wings Plus at noon. All right, so the rally last night, which was just spectacular, what he announced about TikTok was out of this world. I'm going to play some clips of the rally in a bit, not quite yet, but I'm going to play some clips from the rally coming up. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about it. You know, the last 4 years have been tough, not just on the people of the country, because we've had corrupt leadership, because we've certainly had corrupt leadership. Not only have we had corrupt leadership, we've had incompetent leadership, with Biden being out of it, Kamala being a drunk, and all of that, and everything. You guys know the inflation and everything that's going on. But you know, the two non-consecutive terms are so much better. You know, we are really lucky that things turned out the way they did, and we have the two non-consecutive terms. If he would have had the two consecutive terms, the second term, he would have gotten a lot done, but not as much as he's going to get done now. You know, what happens a lot of times in presidential elections, the American people got to feel sometimes what it's like living under these Democrats. I give an example. It may not seem that way now because it was so long ago, and we've had these radical lunatics running the country for the last 4 years, but Barack Obama is a Marxist, an anti-American Marxist. And his administration was incredibly radical in different ways than we see going on now with this transgender and all that stuff. But he was a Marxist, incredibly radical. What he did with Obamacare was insane. He wrecked the entire private insurance. What he was trying to do was create nationalized health care in this country like they have in Europe and like they have in Canada. And that just wouldn't work. Our population's much, much larger. And then we find out we are funding Canada. We're supporting Canada through foreign aid, which is insane. And we're also doing the same for Europe. So one of the reasons that Canada and Europe is able to fund their socialized health care is because the United States is giving them foreign aid and paying for their defense, and they're not paying their NATO dues. Since we're funding those countries, they've got a lot of extra money to move around and pay for their small population socialized health care. It wouldn't work in this country. We don't have other countries subsidizing us, and we have a larger population. But he was trying to nationalize health care, which was, at the time, I don't know what percentage it is now, but in 2010, which is when, Obamacare went through, in 2010, can you believe that's 15 years ago? Oh, my goodness. I remember where I was when I heard the Supreme Court ruling in favor of Obamacare. Oh, my goodness. But in 2010, the healthcare industry was 20% of the U.S. economy, 20% of the U.S. economy, and he was trying to nationalize it. He did a lot of other crazy things too. I'm not going to go through a list of Obama liberal things and socialist things. But one of the reasons Trump came down the escalator, started the rallies, and walked into the presidency in 2015, defeating that old hag Hillary Clinton, is because the country had suffered for 8 years with this radical Marxist Obama. And there's a similar thing going on right now. You know, the country has been suffering. The inflation is out of control. These wars out of control. The crime is up throughout this country by huge numbers. The transgender sports thing is insane. You know, the list goes on. So the 4 years of suffering under Biden and everything that's gone on under Biden, it makes MAGA more popular. And it puts things in perspective for a lot of people that really didn't realize it. The lawfare helped us too. You know, but the biggest turning point, you know, and I ask myself this sometimes, if the Never Trumpers would not have shot Trump in Butler, and then they tried to do it again at the golf course, would he have breezed into re-election so easily? He probably still would have won, but it wouldn't have been as easy. You know, everyone in this country believes that the U.S. government shot Trump in Butler, right? Is there anyone who believes that the gunman in Butler came up and was acting alone? And the same with the guy at the golf course? Or do you believe that the U.S. government was behind it? I don't know anyone who does not believe that the deep state was behind Trump getting shot in Butler. And that was a big turning point. A lot of people who were not on the Trump train, who are lifelong Democrats like Elon Musk, but a lot of regular people around the country, when they shot Trump in Butler, they were red-pilled on the spot. You know, and, you know, here it is, Martin Luther King Day. And President Trump, last night in the rally, he's going to release all the files on President Kennedy's assassination, Bobby Kennedy's assassination. He's going to release the information on his assassination attempts. But he also said he's going to release the documents on the Martin Luther King assassination, which we really know so little about. It's insane. I believe probably J. Edgar Hoover was behind the assassination of Martin Luther King. Hoover hated Martin Luther King. And President Trump is so much smarter than all these other Republicans. You see how fast things are going now? We're going to get all this legislation passed through the Congress. It's because Mitch McConnell isn't there in the Senate holding everything up. It's because Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney aren't in the House holding everything up. But, you know, I'm not expecting a lot of revelations from the Kennedy assassination files because it was a long time ago. They were actually paper files. They very well may have destroyed anything of substance. We'll find out. But the way that President Trump embraces Martin Luther King Day by promising the release of those files too, which, you know, he was assassinated before I was born in 1968. No one can be harmed by it that's still alive today. They should be released, and he will release them. You know, Republicans in the past, the Republicans opposed making Martin Luther King Day a national holiday. It's stupid. No wonder the blacks have been voting for Democrats all these years, because Republicans are stupid. And Republicans, and I'm talking about the Republican establishment that's now been pushed out of power, the Republicans that opposed making Martin Luther King Day a national holiday said it would be too expensive to shut down the government for a day and make it a holiday. That's a stupid argument. How does that get expensive? I guess it's a paid day off, but it should probably save the government money. I don't know. But the Republican Party is more diverse and larger than ever under Donald Trump. And honoring Martin Luther King by releasing his assassination files, too, was a smart move, especially on the eve of Martin Luther King Day. It is Monday, Inauguration Day. Today, President Trump becomes the 47th President of the United States in 5 hours, 32 minutes, and 18 seconds. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. When we come back, there's more to share. I'll get into some of the audio sound bites and your calls as well. So if you're on hold, hang in there. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening, 888-465-2631. 2631. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to get into some of the sound bites from last night when we get back. Oh, man, I'm so excited. Are you guys excited? Who is not excited? How could you not be excited at this? This is as good as it gets. Oh, my goodness. This is the best time. I rounded up, Deborah. It's they're estimating 18.5 billion revenue last year from advertising that TikTok's going to make. I rounded up. And it'll be more this year because more people will use it. Half the country already uses it, but more will use it since it's got... there's callers on hold. I just haven't gotten to the calls yet. If you want to call in, please do. If you're on hold, hang in there. More people are going to use it because Trump's approved of it. Okay, we'll be back in 5 minutes, a long break. Okay. Now, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. All right? Oh, yeah, that was a great rally last night. That was the best. It was, I think, easily, that is the best rally. Without even any hesitation in my mind. That was the best rally. I got a super busy day today. When I get off the air today, I got a doctor's appointment that I have to go to. And then from the doctor's appointment, I got to go right here from the doctor's appointment. Then I'm going to go to Wings Plus for the inauguration. And guys, don't forget, if you're in the state of Florida and you need roof replacement or repair, it's Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing, online at laportaroofing.com. Now, the number that we give out for Tom is his cell phone number, but that's not the number that's on his website. So the cell phone number, when I give it to you, write it down, okay? Because he only gives out his cell phone number to our listeners, okay? But, somebody had messaged me on YouTube, and they said, who buys a roof they do not need? Well, sadly, a lot of people do, because other roofers tell people that they need a new roof when they just need a simple repair. And Tom Laporta, if you need just a simple repair, he'll do it. He works on every type of structure, from small single-family homes, commercial buildings, even municipal buildings. He does church roofs too, schools, warehouses, office buildings. He can also handle the job of any size. A single building, a single home, or a condo or apartment community that has over 200 buildings in it. He can handle the job of any size. He works with every type of roofing material there is too. So give him a call. This is his cell phone. Now, again, this is not the number that's on his website, so write this down. You can call or text. And this is his cell phone because, Tom Laporta and I, we text a lot. So whenever you hear me do the message for Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing, when I give out the number, I take out my iPhone and I just look at my most recent text message from Tom. Who knows anybody's number? I don't even know my wife's number or daughter's phone number. Does anybody know anybody? I barely know my own phone number. Everything's in the phone book now. But I just pull up the most recent text message I have with Tom Laporta, and that's where I get the number. 954, this is Tom's cell phone. You can call or text. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. And online, laportaroofing.com. Give him a call. He'll take very good care of you. He's a good MAGA guy. All right, we will be back in just about 2 minutes. Oh, no, it was very, very smart what Trump did with TikTok. I mean, think about it. I'm going to explain this in some more detail when we get back. If you're on hold, hang in there, guys. I apologize. I got to get some of this stuff out before we go to the calls. Just under 2 minutes, and we'll be back. I hope you all can join us at Wings Plus at noon for the inauguration. I'm excited. We did this for Trump's first inauguration. It was a great party. Trump even said last night there's going to be inauguration parties around the country. There's still time to fly here, Alice. You can catch a plane no matter where you are in America and be here by noon. Just over a minute. Minute and 10 seconds. We'll be back. Oh, it's exciting, man. It is as exciting as it gets. Okay. 1 minute from now. 1 minute. Yeah, today's a holiday. Not for me. Okay, here we go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. I wanted to finish up on this TikTok thing because it's so important. If you're just tuning in, President Trump in his rally last night in D.C. said that he made a deal with China, that he's going to sign an executive order saving TikTok if they give 50% ownership to the United States. And I take that to mean the United States government. And TikTok makes a lot of money, and it's going to make a lot more money. You know, there was a reason why the Democrats wanted to get rid of TikTok. You know, President Trump is amazing, amazing. In fact, the president of the company of TikTok is going to be with the president today at noon at the inauguration. TikTok, last night, President Trump said that he won the youth vote by 30%. By 30%. He may be the first person who's a Republican ever to win the youth vote. Republicans never win the youth vote. It's just a matter of how much did we lose it by, right? And TikTok, which I don't use, I'm not on TikTok. I don't use TikTok. I don't have the app on my phone. But half the country use it. And I don't know what happened. It was like someone flicked a switch. About a year ago, TikTok, which was very left-wing, all of a sudden went full MAGA. I couldn't believe it. And if you went on TikTok over this last year, it was dominated by Trump supporters, hardcore, young and old. And we won the youth vote. Trump won it, but we won the youth vote by 30%, not just because of the great work Charlie Kirk has done. Charlie Kirk did great work. I don't want to take anything away from Charlie Kirk. But one of the reasons we won it was because of TikTok. And Trump mentioned last night they hired like some 20-year-old kid to do their TikTok for the campaign. And Trump went on TikTok and had millions of followers instantly. And the Republican establishment and the Democrats working together wanted to purge us of TikTok because they know that's why Trump won the youth vote. And he may not have won the election without the youth vote. He may not have won the election without TikTok. Certainly would have been more of a struggle. It wouldn't have been such a decisive victory without TikTok. And among the youth of the country, Trump's a savior today, saving TikTok. You may not care, but half the country do, and the young people, a huge chunk of them care, the majority of them. It went dark yesterday. It went offline. But what the Republican is, in Trump's first campaign, he said that Twitter, it was Twitter at the time. He was on everything, but Twitter, he credited Twitter with winning the election the first time and said, and there was a quote of Trump that having a Twitter account was like having a news network without the expense. And he had said several times that he would not have won in 2015 if it were not for Twitter. So what happened? Well, that's when all the censorship began on social media against conservatives. And then after January 6th, they used January 6th as a real purge. But the reason that the Republican establishment with the spyware scare, and I agree that I do not believe the spyware is anything beyond what's on a normal app. I think that's a big propaganda lie, okay? You know, right out of North Korea type propaganda. I don't think the spyware exists on TikTok beyond what is already on regular apps, okay? But TikTok is a news generator. It's not just, it used to be people doing stupid stuff, young people doing stupid stuff and bikini girls and stuff. But TikTok is, and X, I'm going to think about this, TikTok and X, formerly Twitter, TikTok and X are the biggest news generators and news sources to ever exist. Greater than all the newspapers and the networks in their prime combined. And if you remember, before the election, Newsom, Kamala, and others were talking about arresting Elon Musk. For what? If he were dangerous, the government wouldn't be giving him top secret security clearance to launch rockets into space. If he was dangerous, they wouldn't let him launch rockets into space because who knows where he's going to launch them. They wanted to shut down, they wanted to arrest Elon Musk because they knew they were losing because there's freedom of speech on Twitter. They can't control the narrative. Same thing with TikTok. So if anyone would have won other than Trump, especially a Democrat, but even if Nikki Haley or DeSantis had won the primary and became president or something, but especially with the Democrats, Elon would have lost X. They would have taken it from him, may have jailed him. They would have shut down TikTok, and then they would have started going after podcast and other things. You know, I was watching over the weekend more than normal of MSNBC and CNN because I wanted to see how they were processing Trump's return today at noon. And they all have a similar theme, whether it's Jim Acosta on CNN or one of these idiots on MSNBC. And if you watch them long enough, which it doesn't take more than a segment, they continue to call themselves the defenders of democracy on CNN and MSNBC. And when they have guests on, they introduce and do outros to guests. It's part of their bio that they're defenders of democracy. And the media are very numb that they've lost and that Trump's coming back. They're depressed. They're in denial. They're numb. They don't know how to process it. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know what's happened. So they never say to themselves, well, maybe we shouldn't have women. Maybe we shouldn't have women fully in locker rooms with fully naked men with their penises walking around who say they're a woman. Maybe we shouldn't have men beating up women in boxing matches. Maybe we shouldn't have men saying they're women, hitting women in the head in volleyball tournaments with volleyballs and giving them brain damage. They don't say to themselves, it's, you know, when I was watching Fox, one of the Democrats says we've got a messaging problem. And then one of the conservative ladies on Fox said it's not a messaging problem. You have a platform problem. They're wrong on all the issues. So what the Democrats are saying is we didn't lose because this woke stuff is bad. They think it's all good. We lost because, you know, we've lost the media control because of Elon Musk and X and TikTok. And then a lot of other people, podcast, radio shows like this, and things like that. Okay? And so as opposed to stopping the, you know, because is this the end of woke? No, they're still woke. These idiots are still woke. Okay? But as opposed to telling themselves they're wrong on the issues and they need to straighten out, they want to shut down oppositional speech. TikTok, X, and anything else. If Trump would not have won re-election, we would have lost our freedom of speech. Now, at the rally last night, President Trump was showing a video on the Venezuelan prison gangs. Did you see that video that he showed in the rally last night? It was up on the big screen, the Jumbotron up at the ceiling, they were showing it. And they were showing that Venezuelan gang with the rifles, not even wearing masks, in that apartment building in Colorado. It was scary, crazy. That's the video I've been telling you was captured on a doorbell camera. It's absolutely amazing. And Sloman's is going to give you a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. And the doorbell camera connects directly to your cell phone. Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. Sloman's is going to give you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for your doors and windows, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Here's the number, 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. Give them a call. Get that doorbell camera. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It's Trump Inauguration Day. We'll be right back. All right. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Those of you that are new, welcome to the program. I got to get to some of this audio. I'll never get to it, so I'm not sure which to start with. Oh, yeah, I know what I want to start with. I'm going to start with the rally stuff. I'm going to start with the rally stuff. Okay, we'll be back in about less than 3 minutes. 2.5 minutes, we'll be back. Oh, man, if you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. Oh, and I want to tell you guys about this book. Look at this book. Order your copy. Fight Trump's Winning Vision for America from author Peter Murphy. It's available on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, hardcover, and Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, it's free. Look at the great cover. Look at that. Trump, JD, Bobby Kennedy, Tulsi, Elon. Oh, Vivek's in trouble. He's out. But Trump's Winning Vision for America. Order your copy. Fight Trump's Winning Vision for America. Available for free on Kindle Unlimited on Amazon. There you go. Great book. Of course, sponsoring today's program. I love the cover. Isn't that a great cover? 1 minute. We'll be back. I hope the kids are home from school watching the inauguration today. They should be in school watching it like in an assembly. Let's see, yeah. Okay, 30 seconds. And we will be back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We are 5 hours and 12 minutes away from the inauguration of our favorite president, the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. We're very excited, and, oh, man, so much to cover. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning there, Mr. Magoo. I just wanted to point out, you know those big old Hubble threes you have on your face? You know, in prison they call those chominators, which means child molester glasses, and you do fit the profile.
Yeah.
Short, pudgy white guy, you know what I'm saying? Just thought I'd point that out. You might want to elevate your style in glasses there. They're pretty thick.
No, these actually I have.
You've been dumbed down. You've been dumbed down by
I
Trump,
have
you know what I'm saying?
I have
just 20. Point that out.
I have
I
have 20/20 vision. The glasses I wear are reading glasses.
Well, you're. I mean, I'm telling you, man, those things are thick, dude. Your eyeballs look like beach balls under them Hubbles. I'm telling you, man. You should have just gone to the bar and had 2 shot glasses installed in some frames.
Yeah, no, these are reading glasses. I mean, you could say that all you want. I mean, you know, does it make you feel good about yourself to say things?
By the way, I did want to tell you why.
No, there's no by the way. Thank you for your call. Although I shouldn't thank you for the call because that's not true. Oh my goodness. See the Trump derangement syndrome? Trump derangement syndrome is at an all new high. They are unglued on the left. Oh my goodness. Yeah, these are I do wear reading glasses, but I had LASIK vision correction 20 some years ago. And I have 20/20 vision far away, but for things up close, I need reading glasses. And I remember when I got LASIK, it was over 20 years ago. About 22 years ago, and it was for a radio station promotion, and we did it it was such a strange thing. When I got LASIK vision correction, which was about 22 years ago, because I remember my daughter was there. She was 2 or 3. And we did it as a radio promotion. And when I got LASIK vision correction, they told me, you know, when you get to be about 45, you may need reading glasses. So I'm at the reading glasses point now. But he, since it was part of a promotion for the radio, the doctor, he had an operating theater. So he had an operating room where they did the LASIK, right? And they do the LASIK when you're awake, but he moved this curtain and there was a glass window in the waiting room, and listeners showed up and watched me as I got the LASIK vision correction surgery done live. And it was a very strange thing to do. And the way it is, because they ask, you don't get anesthetic to get LASIK vision correction. They offer you a Valium. And I didn't take the Valium because this was in the evening. And I was going to be on the air the next morning. And I didn't want to take the Valium because I thought it would, you know, make me too tired to be on the air the next morning. Boy, that was a mistake. I should have taken the Valium because they, you know, it's a surgical procedure. I didn't realize it was, you know, it doesn't hurt that much, but it hurts. It's quick. And I didn't take the Valium. And I've got all these listeners watching me get LASIK vision correction surgery done through the window of the operating room. It was a very strange thing. Very strange thing. But I still have 20/20 vision far away, which is amazing over 20 years later. But I do use reading glasses. Okay, so don't you love Trump derangement syndrome? It's really amazing. Okay, now, before I get to some of the sound bites, and if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll go back to the calls in just a bit. By the way, Mike up at the radio station, you want to stay close to that dump button today. Stay close to the dump button. I saw a story today. I'm not going to play you the audio because the woman's accent is so heavy that they actually had subtitles on the news story. But I did tweet it. It's on my...
And it's about to be a country.
Oh, hold on. That's Stephen Miller. We'll get to Stephen Miller in a minute. Hold on, Stephen Miller. The woman's accent is so heavy, it's an Associated Press interview that they put subtitles on it, okay? So I'm not going to play it for you guys because you won't be able to understand it. So I'm just going to tell you what happened. But it's a woman who has migrant advocacy organization, which means she's an advocate for illegals. They are training illegals on what to do if they get a knock on their door from immigration, and what their rights are, and about warrants and all these things, on how to stop them from coming into the house and all this. And I got to tell you this, okay? While all the illegals are criminals because they're illegally in the country, not all of them are rapists and murderers and other violent criminals and felons. Not all of them. Some are people that want to come to the greatest country ever, the United States, to have a better life. And I get that, and I'm sympathetic to that. But, you know, why are we supposed to absorb these people? Make no mistake about it. The great replacement theory is the great replacement fact. This is what the Democrats were trying to do. And if Kamala Harris or anyone else would have won, other than Trump, they would have done it. The Democrats, they've given up on the American people. They know, the Democrats know that the American people are not with them anymore. So they're trying to replace us with a group of people, a peasant class from Latin America, that'll be more gracious and appreciative of the Democrats. So they're bringing them here. Basically, what they've decided, the Democrats, to be plain about it, is that there's too many. This is how they rationalize things. Again, it's not that they're wrong on the issues. They think they're right and they're not going to change anything. They've told themselves there's too many white people in the United States. There's too many white people. So if they can lessen the percentage of the population that's white with non-whites, then they can get elected again. So that's what they're doing. And while we're sympathetic to people that just want a better life and came here illegally, it's not up to we're not obligated to absorb them into our country. We cannot afford it. You know, I was talking about this TikTok thing that Trump, so he wants the U.S. government to own half of it. And right now, that'd be about $10 billion a year for the U.S. government. And how Trump wants to lessen the income tax burden and maybe even wipe it out completely for the American people. Think about it. How many months a year does the average American work just to pay taxes? Why are we doing that? Own TikTok. Own some other things. Raise the import taxes. Make other countries pay our taxes. And cut back what the government spends. That's what Doge is about. You know? And you've got a group of people that are coming here, and it's basically a retirement plan. Come here from Latin America. You know, I was watching an influencer who's Mexican, a Mexican influencer who was interviewing people on the street of Mexico, the streets of Mexico, on how much you have to earn to be considered rich. And most people were saying between $400 and $500 a month makes you well-to-do in Mexico. No one gave a number that was over $700 a month. So I think about that. So, you know, they're bringing a peasant class of people that earn $200, $300, $400 a month into this country, setting them up in New York City hotel rooms or wherever else with healthcare, cell phones, EBT, debit cards, and everything else. They've won the lottery. And while I feel bad for some of them, and I know you do too, but we're not anti-immigrant. Elon Musk is an immigrant. The First Lady's an immigrant. X last night at the rally, he's a first-generation American. But we can't absorb these people, and we're not obligated to do it, and we should not be doing it. We work too hard. Here it is, a holiday. How many of you are going to work on Martin Luther King Day? If you work for the government, you're off. But if you don't work for the government or a bank, you're working today. So this story that I'm telling you about that I saw in the Associated Press, we're going to start to see the media flooded with these kind of stories. You know, and it's only a matter of time before we start seeing the trains to Auschwitz, you know, and then making comparisons to the deportations that the Nazis did in the Second World War. There is no comparison whatsoever to that. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go back to the phones after the top of the hour break, all right? Our number's toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. You know, a big question here that you have to ask yourself, and I've asked this question many times, and I don't have the answer. Maybe you do. The United States and Canada are first world countries. South America have every resource we have. Why are we in Canada first world countries, and as soon as you get south of the border an inch, it's the third world all the way down to the southern tip of South America? Why is that? What is it about Latin American culture that makes it so third world? And you bring over 20 million of these people here who don't become Americanized. They're bringing the third world here. Now, all of you are invited to join me and Steve Kane today at noon at the Sample Road location of Wings Plus in Coral Springs. It's our Trump inauguration party. Trump in the rally last night said there's going to be inauguration parties all over the country. Well, ours is at Wings Plus at the Sample Road location in Coral Springs. You are all invited. You know, Wings Plus runs all the sporting events whenever there's a game for every league, everything. So there's TVs everywhere, and they're all going to have the inauguration on. There's not a table in Wings Plus on Sample Road that does not have a good view of a big old television set, and they're all going to have the inauguration on. You're invited. Wings Plus is about 1 mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. All right, you can't miss it. There's plenty of parking. It is a big parking lot. It's a very long parking lot, but you can also park across the street. Okay? We'll be there at noon watching the inauguration of the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. We did this for Trump's first inauguration, and there's nothing like enjoying the inauguration as a group. All right? And this is Wings Plus, so wear your MAGA gear, people, okay? I'm going to have my Make America Great Again hat on, and you should have yours on, too. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after our top of the hour break. Oh, very exciting, guys. Very exciting. Got so much that I want to share. I'm looking for a particular clip I want to play. Okay. We'll be back in about 3.5 minutes. Three minutes. We'll be back in 3 minutes. MAGA Mike Johnson. Oh, yeah, this story that Mike Johnson told is frightening, man. Just frightening. Now, those of you that are just joining, you know, I did a pre-show, which I started, I don't know, how long before the show did I start that? 15, 20 minutes before the show, so you might want to go back and catch that. I'm going to start doing more of those since I'm doing the show from here. By the way, that guy that called that was being vile, that was from Ukraine. I just checked. That was a call from Ukraine. Okay, we'll be back in about 45 seconds. Crazy, huh? I just checked. Isn't that something? Crazy. All right, stand by. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video. Welcome back, everyone. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We are 4 hours and 54 minutes away from the inauguration of President Trump. Before we go to the calls, that guy that I talked to in the last hour that was being vile and inappropriate, I just checked during the break. He called from Ukraine. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Speaking of places where tax money is going, Zelensky contacted Trump and wanted to come to the inauguration. Trump told him no. Wants us to pay his bill, fly him over here. You know how much it must cost to fly that guy around, Zelensky, over here? Give me a break. He wanted to be there next to Trump to give him some legitimacy. But no, that guy, I just checked during the break, that guy was calling from the Ukraine. I still call it the Ukraine. That's what it was when I was in school. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Mike from Houston. How are you?
All right, Mike.
Hey, I just want to say that, today is a great day. And at 65 years of age, I think I'm being completely honest when I say it's the greatest day of my lifetime.
Oh, yes.
After 4 long years of Biden and his administration and the lies and the lawfare, the corruption of our institutions of democracy, it's all over. And the America I knew and am proud of is back starting today. I think today is going to go down as the second the rebirth of our nation, a second July 4th of 1776. So
could you imagine, President,
great and wonderful day.
You were spot on. President Trump, he talked about this last night at the rally in Washington. He's going to be president on our 250th 4th of July celebration. Could you imagine if this... Could you imagine if this...
significance.
There's major... Could you imagine if this wino, Kamala Harris, was president on our 250th anniversary? It would have been an apology for everything of America, as opposed to a celebration of our greatness.
I think it would have been the nail, the final nail in the coffin of the American experiment.
Yeah.
We were on the. Brian, I can't begin to tell you how many nights, and I'm not a particularly intelligent person, and it takes a lot to catch my attention. But when I am up late at night, sleepless, fretting, despairing over the course of my nation, the direction it's taking, something is seriously wrong. And that brings up another thing, Brian. I want to thank you personally for you and Steve and people like Roger Stone, Steve Bannon, all the others who kept the faith, because you guys gave hope to people like me who are laying there at night going, is this it? Is this the end? Mm-hmm. You people kept the candle burning in the dark that gave us a beacon of hope. And so thank you so very much for just being a stalwart defender of our democracy.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, you're right. You know, this 250th 4th of July celebration, I might go to D.C. for that one. I was in Washington for one 4th of July many years ago when Clinton was president, and they put on a spectacular celebration. But I think the celebration for the 250th with Trump there will be beyond anything we've ever seen. Not since the bicentennial.
Yeah, I think it's a significant. Again, I'm not a particularly bright person.
Yes, you are. You're very smart.
Notice when things fall into place, and 250, and I don't know what the term is. Was it I don't know what the term is.
I don't either.
Like
Nobody
that.
does.
And then President Trump. That to me is an omen, and it's a positive omen. So, but
all right.
That's all I had to say.
Well,
Brian.
I appreciate the call.
Thank you for being there.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call, and you're a very smart guy. Don't let anybody tell you you're not. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Wow. You know, I feel like, you know, in the movie The Ten Commandments, when the Jews are finally getting out of away from the Pharaoh. Man, this is what we are. We're getting our country back, man. Today is the day. Can't wait to see the progress we're going to be getting in day one. This is going to be fantastic, man.
Oh,
fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I know. It's exciting.
I'll see you over at Wings Plus for sure. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, great.
And I got a couple other people coming with me, and it's going to be a great time.
Well, I'll see you there, Doug. All right, take care. So if you guys, you know, some of the callers that you hear all the time come to our events. So you'll get to meet not just Steve Kane and me, but you'll also get to meet Conservative Doug and who knows who else from the regular callers. So Conservative Doug, Wings Plus, again, the Sample Road location, about a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road. Be there at noon for the inauguration of the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. That's exciting. I'm glad to see. I haven't seen Doug in a while. It'll be good to see him again. Doug was with us when we had that appearance at the mall that they called the police on and threw us out of. Yeah, that was great. But come meet Conservative Doug today at Wings Plus. All right, now, after the break, I'm going to get to some of the sound bites, both from the rally and the news over the weekend, because there were a lot of developments, and one in particular with MAGA Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, that we're going to get to in a little bit. So stand by for all of that. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Hey, Richie, what's up?
All right, here's the deal. You put up Mike Johnson's picture up there, and I know you're going to go with this down the road. But I got to say something. I had this when I was a bus driver in Century Village in Pembroke Pines. I used to take this girl. I used to pick her up every day. She took care of this elderly woman, and to make a long story short, he was up there. The police were looking for her and her boyfriend because what they were doing was they were signing her checks. And because she didn't know what she was doing, she was not aware. I guess she had like dementia, and she was forging checks and going to the bank, and they took half the bank account away, and the daughter came down and said, "What's going on?" And they took off, and I couldn't believe what had happened. Now we got this guy in the White House for the last 4 years signing executive orders that he didn't know what the hell he was signing because they were signing this. That to me is just as that's so much that's what I want to see President Trump go into, because these people broke the law every day they were there for 4 years because this man was not coherent. He wasn't capable of signing executive orders. He didn't read them. He didn't know what was in them, and they basically got over on him.
Oh yeah,
it's disgusting.
Yeah,
man.
after the break, Richie knows this story. But after the break, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, told a story about Biden that I'm going to share with you after the break. And you want to go after the lawfare people? This is the way to do it. And Pam Bondi is going to look into this because some serious crimes have been committed, and it's frightening.
And I want to say something else also. This is the greatest day of my life also. Because I got to tell you, I thought we were losing this country. And we were losing it to crazy left-wing garbage here. I mean, when you had Easter Sunday at the White House and you had You had strippers and cross-dressed men and everything else there. What a mockery of our country.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't think this guy was aware of what the hell was going on. They had the bunny rabbit running around with him, remember? To make sure that he didn't talk to anybody.
Well, today
this
will
was-
be, today, the last time we're going to see Biden for a long time will be today when he gets off the plane in Delaware. And
Next thing you know, we'll be going to his funeral. And they'll be telling you how wonderful he was.
well, whatever
That was the biggest disaster.
whatever they're hopping him up on, they're going to stop giving him because they're done with him. So he's going to have but we're not going to see him. We're going to see him get off the plane today. All the ex-presidents, they do that, and then that'll be it until whenever. All right, Richie, I got to run for the break, so I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, this was a perfect storm for us because what we saw here was a non-politician win the White House, and then they try to trash him, both parties try to trash him for 4 years and do everything. And when he was out of office, try to lock him up, and now he's back in there, and vengeance is great.
All right, take care.
Have a
Appreciate it,
good
Richie.
morning.
All right, we'll see you. All right, we'll take our first break of the second hour and be right back. All right. I'm just texting with Steve. He's going to be joining us at 8. Now all of a sudden the Democrats want to tell you that crypto is a crime. That's their new thing. Move on. Now again, if you're new, make sure that you subscribe. All right. Okay. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Very exciting. What a day. Does not get better than this. It really doesn't. Okay. Minute and a half, we'll be back. Oh. No, that guy called from Ukraine. I checked. It tells me. Guy's calling from Ukraine, and that's what he's got to do? Can't have a meaningful discussion about the situation? Okay, here we go. 30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. I'm looking forward to meeting you all at Wings Plus for our inauguration party at noon today, the Sample Road location of Wings Plus. You are all invited about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. You can't miss it. Plenty of parking. It is the longest parking lot I've ever seen. If it's empty, you could actually, we've had rallies there, right? We've had a lot of big Republicans there, and Brian Walsh, who owns Wings Plus, sets up a stage, and we've had Republican rallies right there in the parking lot. It's a big, long parking lot. You could land an airplane in that parking lot when it's empty. But there's also parking across the street, guys, so we'll see you there at noon. All right, so I want to share this with you because this is really frightening. Mike Johnson gave an interview to a podcast over the week. end, and he talked about an experience he had with Joe Biden and how far gone his mind is. And there's a lot of news going on, and this has gotten buried. He gave an interview on a podcast called The Free Press in D.C., and this should be one of the lead stories, but it's been suppressed. Listen.
I do stand by it, and I say this without any personal animus at all. I mean, in some ways, I actually kind of feel sorry for Joe Biden. I mean, he's in the twilight years of his life. He is not, obviously, has not been in charge for some time. And I know this by personal observation, and now the whole world knows it. And it's been very, very concerning to me over the last, year and a half since I've had this position.
Can you tell us a story when you say personal observation? What kind
well,
of
I
thing
mean,
did you see?
it's public now because the Wall Street Journal got it and put it on the front page. But January a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, I had been asked, I became speaker in October 2023, and there were all sorts of big national security concerns and everything going on, and I started requesting a meeting with the president because, I'm kind of old school. I'm a constitutional law guy. Speaker of the House should be able to talk to the president, especially in times of great national interest and calamity. But they wouldn't let me meet with him, and his staff kept giving me excuses. This went on for like 8 or 9 weeks. I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, he doesn't have time. What are you talking about? I'm second in line of the presidency. He has time. I need to talk to him. We had, I can't say the classified parts, but we had some big national concerns at the time that I was losing sleep over. Finally, I just went to the Hill Press Corps and I said, the president is not being allowed to meet with the speaker. There's a problem. So they started putting pressure on him. Long story short, they finally relented. They invited me to the White House. I show up and I realize it's actually an ambush because it's not just me and the president. It's also Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem, the CIA director, everybody. And then, so I walked in the Oval and, I know what this is. They're going to hotbox the speaker on Ukraine funding. That's what it was. This is probably third week of January. We sit down, we're in the midst of it, and the whole conversation, and I'm going, we don't need to have this conversation. The president reaches over just like this. We're sitting right next to the fireplace in the Oval, and he grabs my arm and he says, the speaker and I just need a couple minutes together. Would y'all just leave us alone? And I looked up on the faces of some of the staff standing around the wall, and they're like, oh, no, he did it. So he called it. He's the commander-in-chief. So everybody leaves, and he and I are standing awkwardly in the middle of the Oval Office, right over the rug by that coffee table. And I said, Mr. President, thanks for the moments. This is very important. I got some big national security things I need to talk to you about that I've heard, and I think you know, and what do we do? But first, real quickly, Mr. President, can I ask you a question? I cannot answer this from my constituents in Louisiana. Sir, why did you pause LNG exports to Europe? Like, I don't understand, liquefied natural gas is in great demand by our allies. Why would you do that? Because you understand, we just talked about Ukraine. You understand you're fueling Vladimir Putin's war machine because they got to get their gas from him, And he looks at me, stunned with this, and he said, I didn't do that. And I said, Mr. President, yes, you did. It was an executive order, 3 weeks ago. And he goes, no, I didn't do that. And he's arguing with me. I said, Mr. President, respectfully, could I go out here and ask your secretary to print it out? We'll read it together. You definitely did that. And he goes, oh, you talk about natural gas. Yes, sir. He said, no, you misunderstand. He said, what I did is I signed this thing we're gonna conduct a study on the effects of LNG. I said, no, you're not, sir. You paused it. I know. I have the export terminals in my state. I talked to those people this morning. This is doing massive damage to our economy, national security. It occurred to me, Barry, he was not lying to me. He genuinely did not know what he had signed. And I walked out of that meeting with fear and loathing because I thought, we're in serious trouble. Who is running the country? I don't know who put the paper in front of him, but he didn't know.
Okay. Wow. All right. So that's huge. And while that's circulated online over the weekend, it has really been suppressed by the media. The mainstream media have not been sharing that. It's one of the biggest stories in the history of any presidency of the United States. And you might say, well, who cares about natural gas stories? This is big. You heard with Johnson, there's a few things about this. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to get through this. One of the things that Johnson said, the speaker, that means they got to buy natural gas from Putin. So Putin's making money, and we're feeding the Russian war machine while we have this proxy war going over there with Ukraine and Russia, which is insane. But he didn't know what he signed. So you got to ask yourself, who wanted to do that, and why did they do it? Whoever did it for a profit reason. Someone made money off of that. But how many other orders have been given that he didn't sign? How many other things did he sign and thought he was signing something else or didn't know he was signing anything at all? Or maybe somebody just signed it for him. These are if you want to bring down the lawfare people, this is how you do it. You know, I hope Pam Bondi gets all over this and investigates all of this. You know, if someone signed a military authorization that resulted in military action where people were killed, that's illegal. And whoever did that not just committed treason, but also murder, who knows how many times over, in a military strike. If you want to bring down the lawfare people, this is where you start. That's some scary, scary stuff. Who's been running the country the last 4 years? And it's not a joke. A lot of people laugh. Oh, he's seen. It's not funny. It's amazing that the country has not collapsed over this. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi. Good morning, Brian. Danielle from Michigan.
Hey, Danielle.
It's a great, beautiful day.
No doubt.
So excited for the day. I just watched the clip that you just did, however, with Speaker Johnson, and what's been released over the weekend. This is major. 12 o'clock today can't come soon enough. Thanks be to God. Let it get here. Mm-hmm. Major what's just been happening, and I'm confident they'll get to the bottom of it. But just look what's happened in the last 4 years to this beautiful country, and these people that wanted to destroy us.
Oh yeah.
I'm thankful for the day, and I'm just so excited. I'm going to a little luncheon today. I took today off, and I know you guys are going to Wings Plus. Enjoy the beautiful day, but that's disturbing. It
is because American, you know, somebody profited from this. Somebody profited from this. And they also gave aid to the enemy because we're fighting against Russia. And I don't support this war in Ukraine, but we're funding the other side. So we're also funding the other side, Russia, in this war. And this is how the last 4 years have been. This may seem minor, natural gas. It's not minor, you know. And if they were signing off on, it's a big thing. If they were signing off on something that big, what else did they do?
Yeah, this is not minor. This is the exposure of what these evil people, and I can't wait until they're exposed and they're held accountable, and the American people see what they've been doing. And some of these callers that you have that have Trump derangement syndrome, they're going to wake up.
Well, that guy, that nasty caller in the first hour that was inappropriate, he was calling from Ukraine. I'm not kidding. I looked. I checked. He was calling from Ukraine. That's what we're fighting for.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, appreciate the call.
Yeah, I thank you for taking my call. Enjoy the day. It's a beautiful, blessed day, and I'll call you tomorrow morning.
All right, take care. Yeah, take care. Yeah, please join us at Wings Plus today at noon. Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig. Wings Plus at noon. All of the television sets will be on the inauguration. Wear your MAGA gear. Wings Plus is the one restaurant where you can wear all your MAGA gear. Hey, the waitresses might be wearing MAGA gear at Wings Plus. You never know. So show up in your MAGA gear. You know, Wings Plus, they even have their own MAGA hats, okay? That's right, they do. We'll see you there. Wings Plus, about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. Steve Kane will be there. Steve will be joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. Steve Kane will be there. I will be there. Conservative Doug called. He said he's going to be there, and you'll get to meet some of our other callers as well. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back. This is Pepsi, guys. Let me show everybody Pepsi. Hold on. This is Pepsi, one of our rescue kits. How big they've gotten? Hey, Pepsi. Isn't he cute? Yeah, he's the baby. He's most definitely the baby. We'll be back shortly. Oh, yeah, he's cute. His brother is Coca-Cola. He's around somewhere. Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Yeah, those were the two. He's one of the ones they were abandoned out on the side of the road. And someone my brother-in-law knows saw them and grabbed them, and we got them. They were a month old. But they're doing great. We're lucky to have them. Hey, buddy. He's watching. Okay, we'll be back in about 2 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, we'll be back live on the air. I'm going to go through some of the sound bites from the rally. Yeah, all three of our cats are rescued. Yeah, when Pepsi and Coca-Cola, when we first got them, we had to feed them with a bottle. So we had to get the kitten formula. There's a baby formula version of kitten formula, and feed them with a bottle, little tiny bottles. They were so little. Never done that before. He's the baby. Coca-Cola, he's bigger. All cats are MAGA after what happened in Springfield. Oh, and our other rescue cat, Luna, she's older, right? We've had her, she's like 2. She loves those guys. She has taken over the mother role for sure. She is their mother. She treats them like she gave birth to them. I'm allergic to cats, so no more. I just showed Pepsi. I don't bring them around too much when I'm on the air because then they're going to want to crawl on everything. No, our dog passed away. Both of our dogs. They're very old. One minute. We'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back in just a minute. Because the radio, I'm not at the radio station. The commercials are being played up at the radio station. And sometimes I take a break to rest my voice. Between all the YouTube videos I make, the radio show, my podcast, I talk a lot. I told you, my mouth gets more work than a street walking prostitute. Right now, my jaw's right here are sore. You guys come to Wings Plus. I even shaved with a blade razor. I do that so infrequently. 30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Lenny from Coconut Creek, Florida.
Hey, Lenny. What's on your mind?
Well, I just, fortunately, my wife and I are off today from work, so we'll be able to, watch this,
Awesome.
the new president, being sworn in, and, the rally yesterday was electrifying, and
yeah, it was.
I just, you were talking, about this deal between China and the United States about TikTok, and do you really think it's, I mean, as far as, the financial aspect of it, that it's a good thing with, everybody knows TikTok is, through TikTok is, stealing, all
I was talking about that.
information.
I was talking about that earlier. And my wife suggested this to me. When she first told me, I was like, no. But then I started thinking about it, and it made sense. I don't think that China has this super secret spyware. I think that's a lie.
Really?
No, I don't think they do. I think that's a lie. I think they want us to think that they have this super advanced spyware. And not only that, all apps have some form of spyware to spy on you. We know that. I don't think it has anything beyond what a normal app would have, because the Chinese company that owns TikTok owns a lot of other apps, including a video editing app that I use. It's called CapCut, and CapCut is the most popular editing application out there to edit video. Anyone who like I make YouTube videos and things all the time, I do all the editing on CapCut, and they're not talking about getting rid of CapCut or the other Chinese app that company has. And this is why I think it's BS. The Republican establishment and the Democrats want TikTok gone because they credit it with Trump's victory. Half of the country are on TikTok already. Half.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
It's huge, right? So Trump last night in the rally announced that he won 30% of the youth vote. Republicans never win the youth vote. He didn't just win it, he won it in a landslide. And usually you measure the youth vote by how much the Republicans lost it by, not how much they won it by. So TikTok is why we won the youth vote, okay? It is so pro-Trump and MAGA. It's a news. It's a news.
That's phenomenal.
It's a news app, is what it's become. A MAGA news app, and the reason the establishment and the Democrats want it gone is because they credit it with Trump's victory, just like they want X taken away from Elon Musk, because that's TikTok and Twitter X are the number one news sources in the world, reaching more people than all the newspapers and network news ever reached at the prime of their followers, okay, and viewers and readers. And they want it shut down because of that. I think the spyware is a lie. If they had the spyware in that app, they would have it in all the other apps that they put out, that company, and they're not trying to shut any of the other ones down.
Well, like I said, the financial aspect, like you said, what was it? It is generating $19 million?
No, billion with a B. President Trump said last night at the rally he made a deal with China. Remember, TikTok went offline yesterday. It was offline. And Trump...
Yeah, it came back on.
It came back because Trump made a deal. And he announced at the rally last night, he told China that he will sign an order bringing TikTok back if the United States owns 50% of it. And by that, I'm assuming he means the United States government. It made $18.5 billion last year. That means we'd make $9 billion.
Yeah, 9 or 10 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That's a substantial amount. That
it's going to make more now that Trump has signed off on it. And Trump has all the security briefings. If it really had that spyware on it, would he have allowed it to stay in effect? I don't think so.
Well, the opening at the rally, that my wife are devout Christians, and to those, I don't know who the two women were, but that opening prayer was so unbelievable.
Yeah, it was good.
That not only praying for covering the president, but the entire world. And and I truly believe that
not just he is gonna make changes within the entire world. He talked about the Iron Dome. You know, the military people are already enlisting. You know, all this woke, you know, BS that you know, this. I've never felt so positive about finally a change in this country and the world. You're seeing, you know, I don't like that, you know, everybody's now, you know, that turned their backs on him or has been against him is now kissing his ring. But you know what? People, I want to see what's going to happen, because he made a decision on the first day. You know, they released the 3 of the hostages. The only thing that is upsetting to me is that all this is being done in stages, and I don't know the exact number on the prisoners that are being released back, you know, to, like I said, I don't know the correct number, but, you know, if we're talking like 256 of the people.
Now listen, I gotta run because we have some major breaking news that I got to get to.
Okay.
So this is.
Well, listen, God bless you, Craig. You know, for just doing all the work that you do and putting out everything.
Well, thanks so much. Hey, listen, you and your wife in Coconut Creek, you're right up the street from Wings Plus, so you can stop by. You're invited. All right. I'd love to meet you. Take care. All right. Now we got some breaking news, guys, and Biden has pardoned Milley, Fauci, and the J6 committee members. This is from Fox News. This is nuts, isn't it? It's completely nuts. I'm going to go through, let me go through the whole story. Well, let me see. Yeah, we got time before the break to go through this. Let me go through this story. And we knew some big pardons were coming today. I wasn't expecting the Mark Milley pardon. So Biden pardons Mark Milley, Anthony Fauci, and the J6 committee members. Here's the story from Fox. President Biden has pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, General Mark Milley, and others who some speculated may have faced investigations under the incoming Trump administration. Biden's pardons come just hours before he's set to depart the White House. That's all we got so far. So that means Liz Cheney. You know, can you, now this, you guys can let me know, can you pardon people who, just a generic pardon for no crimes? Right, like with Hunter, there were crimes. There were crimes. I'm not saying these people didn't do crimes, but there's no charges. Can you give people just a blanket pardon when there's been no charges? Has this been done before? And what did Milley do? Milley, I'm not even sure, you know, a pardon would cover what he did. And the J6 committee, I'll look more into this after, during the break, but that's what Fox News is reporting right now. He pardoned General Milley, Fauci, and the J6 committee members. Is this the first pardon we've ever had of... Now, Nixon was pardoned, and he wasn't charged with any crimes, but that pardon was very specific for what he was being pardoned for, the Watergate cover-up. What's Milley being pardoned for? What's Fauci being pardoned for? And what are the J6 committee members being pardoned for? You know, Mark Milley committed treason on January 6th. We're going to take our last break of the second hour. If you're on hold, stand by. This is breaking news that's breaking we knew some big pardons were going to be coming in this morning, but I was not expecting this. I really wasn't. Our number's toll free. If you're on hold, stand by. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Let me see if we get any Now it's so new, it hasn't hit all the news sources yet. It's developing. Okay, the Drudge has it. Let's see where Drudge has here. I'll go through the Associated Press story when we get back. Let's see if they have any more information. Okay, yes, okay, I've got the Biden state. I'll go through the whole thing when we get back. If you're on hold, hang in there. Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable. We knew some big ones were coming. These are so big, he didn't want to have to deal with them at all, so he did them right here at the end. Presidents can pardon any federal crime, including treason, yes. They can pardon any federal crime. But Nixon was pardoned and he wasn't charged with anything. If it's a federal murder case, any federal crime, yeah, even murder. If it's federal, it's federal. They can't pardon for local law crimes, only federal. Well. It's really, I'll get into this, but it's an acknowledgement that they all committed crimes, right? Mm-hmm. But let's see if he knows what he signed or even signed it himself. They also have to accept the pardons. We'll be back in about 90 seconds. We'll be back live. If you're on hold, hang in there. Oh, this is great. I was waiting for this. I'm glad this happened while I was on the air. Early, like in the middle of the show, because I knew some pardons were coming down today, as we all knew. And I'm so glad they came in to give us in time for us to talk about them, right? We'll be back in less than a minute. Stand by. If you're new to the program, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, do me the favor of liking the video. Click that notification bell if you don't mind. All that helps. Okay, 30 seconds. Okay, stand by. 15 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. If you're on hold, hang in there. We got some breaking news. This is from Associated Press. We got a little more information from the AP. Biden has pardoned Dr. Fauci, General Milley, and the J6 committee. This is the Associated Press. President Joe Biden has pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members of the House committee that investigated the January 6th attack on the Capitol, using the extraordinary powers of his office in his final hours to guard against potential revenge by the incoming Trump administration. So here we have an admission from Biden that these people did crimes. There's a statement released from Biden on the pardons. Quote, this is from Biden, quote, "The issuance of these pardons should not be mistaken as an acknowledgement that any individual engaged in any wrongdoing. nor should acceptance be misconstrued as an admission of guilt for any offense, Biden said in a statement. Our nation owes these public servants a debt of gratitude for their tireless commitment to our country, unquote. So, yeah. Now, the thing about this, Biden, did he pardon their staff? The J6 committee destroyed evidence. So Liz Cheney and all these people, they've left their staff hanging out there to dry. So they should get Pam Bondi on speed dial and ready to spill their guts about what they did and make a deal. Oh, this is... I'm so glad that Biden did this now, because I knew pardons were coming today, big ones. We all knew. And they had not come yet, and I was a little concerned that they were going to come after the show was over. And I'm glad that they came in the middle of the show so that we can talk about it. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Steve Shaw, calling from South Florida.
Hey, Steve. First names are all we need, but go ahead. Steve in South Florida, what's on your mind?
Do a Trump impression. I don't know if you wanted to hear it.
No. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from, since he asked?
Hey there, Brian. It's Lisa, and I can't believe it, but I can believe it about this pardon. Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about last minute, right?
Oh, yeah. I can't, and he's left Liz Cheney and all of their staffs out of the pardons, according to the reports. So do you think Liz Cheney destroyed the records, or did she have her staff destroy the evidence?
Correct. I mean, well, all of those people, they'll always let everybody else take the fall.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. Also, who was that perjurer that lied to the committee that worked at the Trump White House? That girl that said that Trump tried to choke the Secret Service agent? I forgot her name offhand.
Yeah, I don't remember her name. I can't remember it either.
Yeah, somebody tell me what her name is in the live chat on YouTube, if you don't mind. I forgot her. I don't see anything about a pardon for her, and she coordinated her perjury with Liz Cheney.
Mm-hmm.
So just because they've done some pardons for the big celebrity lawfare criminals, doesn't mean that we're not going to get some justice here for some of the others, like that liar.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting as we move forward.
Cassidy Hutchins, by the way. Thanks, guys, for giving me the name. Cassidy Hutchins.
Cassidy.
Yeah, I don't see anything about her getting a pardon. And she colluded with Liz Cheney to craft her false testimony.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going to get her. Good. This is great. This is wonderful. Thank you, Biden. Now we can get Cassidy Hutchins for her crimes.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, and the thing earlier that you played with the I can't even think of his name, Mike
Johnson, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Yeah. Right. Now the fact that Biden thought he signed something completely different. Well, that's been like you said, this has been going on the whole time. These people have been trying to destroy America for this entire 4 years. We've seen them like a car off a cliff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the last way to bring down a country from within, according to the Communist Manifesto, which is what they've been following, is to completely bankrupt the country. That's like the final blow, right? Because they've already done politicizing everything under the sun to get people to divide, right?
Yeah.
Divide and conquer.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, it's horrible, but it doesn't.
Oh, this is great. This is
Yeah.
wonderful, because he only pardoned, like for example, he gave Fauci a pardon. So whatever Fauci did, that guy didn't do anything. He had staff do it for him. So they've left all their staffs out to dry. There's going to be a lot of people pretty pissed off and scared right now with this story.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah. You don't think Cassidy Hutchins is terrified right now that she's going to go to prison?
Oh, all of these people, man.
And by the way, Liz Cheney and these people, just because they're pardoned, doesn't get them off the hook. When we start prosecuting their staffs that destroyed evidence, or Cassidy Hutchins, since they cannot face prosecution, they lose their Fifth Amendment right. You can't, because you can't incriminate yourself. If you can't be prosecuted, you can't incriminate yourself. So Liz Cheney and the others could be commanded to testify against Cassidy Hutchins, as could Fauci in those cases and others. Yes. And Millie, Millie was colluding with others like Pelosi on January 6th. Now that he's been pardoned, he can't take the Fifth Amendment. He can't incriminate himself. He doesn't face prosecution. He can be commanded to testify.
Yeah.
This is
hallelujah.
great. This is
Hallelujah.
great.
I mean,
this is the best. Thank you, Biden.
This is a great day for our country. It's a fabulous day for our country. And I wish I could be there at Wings Plus.
There's still time to take a flight down here.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could. Well, anyway, have a great, marvelous day.
All right, take care. This is awesome. Yeah, this is awesome. Oh, Biden's helping us. Now, I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. Friday when I got off the air, I recorded an interview with Joe Thomas. Has his own radio show that airs on all of our radio stations. And I was a guest on his show. I'm not sure if it's airing this week or not. I'll find out when it's airing and let you all know. But check it out. And you can find information about Jupiter Joe's radio show on his website, jupiterjoe.com. And you can hear me as a guest. It's nice to be a guest. It's a lot less stressful being a guest than hosting the show. But give him a call and talk to him about how he could turn your money into guaranteed income for the rest of your life. That's right. I don't know anyone who can't use more income, right? I don't care who you are. Everyone can use more income. And Joe Thomas will tell you how you can do just that. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, 401ks, IRAs, those all are great. They have purposes, but they don't guarantee you an income stream for the rest of your life. Annuities do. Joe Thomas is offering a free consultation. And after that free consultation, he'll put together a custom proposal just for you. You can take advantage of this no matter where you're located in the United States. Give him a call and set up your free consultation. Because if you can't, you can do it in person or on the phone. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. You can also get his phone number on his website, jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com. All right, so if you're just tuning in, Biden has pardoned General Milley, Dr. Fauci, and unnamed members of the J6 committee, which is, where Liz Cheney is and all of that. And this story is just breaking in the last, really 30 minutes. So it's still developing. This is beautiful. This really is a beautiful thing. I want to hear your thoughts on this. In many ways, it's going to be easier for us to get justice because I got news for you, okay? Fauci and Liz Cheney weren't going to jail. They weren't going to go to jail. And Milley, probably not going to go to jail either. But now we have this acknowledgement, even though they say it's not, they have to accept the pardons. Now that we have they're going to try to frame it as revenge, but everybody knows that's BS. These are now going to become cooperating witnesses to clear Trump's name and expose the whole lawfare apparatus. By the way, I don't see pardons named for Jack Smith. I don't see any pardons for Merrick Garland coming out of there. I don't see any pardons for Fannie Willis, the Judge Mershon, Letitia, or any of these lawfare people. Do you? I'm not seeing any pardons for just a handful of big names. Now, hey, noon is still just 4 hours and 3 minutes away, and he can sign pardons on the car ride to the inauguration. But I don't see a pardon for Christopher Wray. There's a lot of lawfare people that haven't been pardoned. Good. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Jay from Jersey.
Oh, hey, Jay. Great day. Trump's going to be president in 4 hours and 2 minutes. Or no, 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours and 4 hours and 2 minutes. I'm so excited.
Yeah. One of the worst times the world will ever see.
Mm.
And y'all enjoy it now. Because later on down the line, when y'all see y'all been suckered and duped and hoodwinked and bamboozled by this man, I'm going to call in and laugh at you.
President Trump said last night at his rally in he hung up. Jay from Jersey hung up. What I was going to bring up to him, what I was going to ask him about is President Trump and his rally he hung up on me, Jay from Jersey. What I was going to share with him was last night at his rally, President Trump said that he is going to release all the assassination files on President Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, and Martin Luther King. And I was going to ask him what his thoughts were about releasing the assassination files on Martin Luther King. My guess is that J. Edgar Hoover had something to do with that assassination. We know very little about Martin Luther King's assassination, and here we are on Martin Luther King Day. I hope he can sign that order today because it is Martin Luther King Day. All right, now 2 hours down, 1 to go. If you're just tuning in, Biden has just pardoned Dr. Fauci, General Milley, and Liz Cheney and the J6 committee members. Oh, this is great. 2 hours down, 1 to go. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Steve will be joining us in the next hour. You're all invited to join us at our Trump Inauguration Watch Party today at noon at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs, about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. Plenty of parking. You can also park across the street. All right. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. Come back with your calls, Steve Kane, and much more after this. Hey, it's Brian. How's it going? Good. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. You there? We got about 2 minutes. Oh, so did you see the news? Oh yeah. Yeah, this is good. Okay, remember you're gonna hear music on hold, so we'll be on in about 2 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna put you on hold. Hold on. This is great. This could not have gone better for us. This is as good as it gets. It really is. Oh yeah. It's a Martin Luther King Day gift. If you give gifts on Martin Luther King Day. I don't know if you give gifts on Martin Luther King Day, but this is a gift. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's breaking. It's all over the place. And it says, among others. McEnany says, among others. We don't know who the others are. We'll be back in about a minute and 45 seconds. Oh, actually, 45 seconds. Not a minute, 45 seconds. This is awesome. Stand by. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you're on hold, hang in there. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Steve, you with us? Yes, you're there. We got you. All right, so we got an update. Now, if you just we got an update on the breaking news from the last hour, but let me recap. And we got an update from McEnany. Biden, the story is Biden pardoned General Milley, Dr. Fauci, and the J6 committee. But now from Kayleigh McEnany, we got something a little more. Here's what McEnany just posted this on. She just tweeted this on X, okay? Kate McEnany. Biden issues preemptive pardons for General Mark Milley, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and members of the January 6th committee, among others. But we don't know who the others are yet. Oh, boy. This is great, Steve.
I don't know. I have a different slant on it. I'm caught up in the magnificence of the moment, and I'm finding it difficult to gloat, especially since the annihilation of the other side has been so complete.
Oh, this is perfect.
They've just been destroyed.
This is perfect.
It's like passing one of those. You ever passed? I'm sure you have. In fact, I was going to say, have you ever passed by one of these horrible accidents on the road? And I realized you've been in a couple. But I mean, it's like it's just a massacre.
Yeah. See, I didn't think I'd ever have to say this to you, Steve, but you got to get off the speaker. You're on the speaker phone there. You got to get off the speaker.
All I do is I take what they put in my hand.
Okay, well, we'll take care of it during the break. But hold on a second here. So this is as good. Hold on, let me got you there. Okay. This is as good as it gets, Steve, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, this is Biden gave us a gift with these pardons. Okay, now first of all, Milley, Liz Cheney, and Fauci were not going to go to prison, right? They weren't going to go to prison. There was no scenario. I'm not saying that they should not have gone to prison. I'm saying they were not going to go to prison. There's just no way those three were going to go to prison. The only one that had a chance of going to prison was maybe Milley, right, through the military court system. But these three, very unlikely that Fauci, Liz Cheney, or General Milley would go to prison. So now, but there's a lot of people that are not mentioned here. And one of them I was mentioning during the last hour, Cassidy Hutchins, who was that lying witness that made all these lies up about Trump, right? The one that said he tried to take control of the car from the Secret Service so we could lead the insurrectionist at the Capitol building and they wouldn't take him, remember? And he choked the Secret Service agent and all this stuff. We know because there was reporting recently that she colluded with Liz Cheney on her testimony, which was perjury. Okay, by the way, we're gonna try to get Steve back, not on the speaker after the break. So the others that are not pardoned can still be prosecuted. You know, you got to live in the real world. Okay. In the real world, what Milley did on January 6th was treason. And I'll tell you what he did, very specifically what he did. On January 6th, there's a couple things that are talked about often, but one that doesn't get mentioned too much. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff has no military command or authority whatsoever under them. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of a lot of people think that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is in charge of all of the military. They're not. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is simply a military advisor to the president. They have no command. They're the military advisor to the president. And on January 6th, Milley did three things, all of them treason. One, He illegally went into the room where they control our nuclear weapons and seized control illegally from the President of the United States, Donald Trump, America's nuclear arsenal. 2, he picked up the phone and called the head of the Chinese army, his counterpart in China. Both treason. 3rd, he took over the nuclear arsenal and he coordinated with China through direct communications. Both of those are treason. 3rd thing he did was have a conversation with Nancy Pelosi about removing President Trump from office on January 6th. I didn't see anything about a pardon for Pelosi or her staff and people that were connected to that. All 3 of those are treason, high treason. He's the only one out of those big names that there was a chance that he might have gone to prison. Okay? He may have gone to prison, but probably not, because he'd have a lot of advocates and they would drag it out and everything else. Who knows? You know, the famous leftists don't go to prison, only Republicans. Okay? So that's some hardcore stuff that he did. But what's more important in the scheme of things? These people, and I'm not saying none of them should go to prison. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. What's more important to you? That they go to prison, or that the historical record of the United States is corrected? Because right now our official history, which is written by liberals in the media, tells us that Donald Trump's a felon, he committed and led an insurrection, and all of that. And what all of these pardons will do will be, we will be able to compel all of them to testify. They cannot take the Fifth Amendment. Since they're pardoned, they can't incriminate themselves. They have to testify. And they did not pardon, so far as we know, he did not pardon the people underneath him, underneath any of these people. And they committed, they're the ones that did the legwork on the crimes, okay? So I think long term, it's more important to correct the historical record and clear Trump's name for the history books than it is for these people to go to prison. I think they should go, but you understand, I'm saying Liz Cheney should go to prison. Milley should go to prison. Okay, I'm not saying they shouldn't, any of them. But to me, it's more important to clear Trump's name for the historical record. Do you guys agree with that or disagree with that? I'd like to hear your thoughts at 1-888-465-2631. And so far as this lawfare, now again, he could sign pardons on his way to the inauguration today. So this may not be the end of the pardons, and we're going to monitor this during the program today. We'll get Steve back after the break, by the way. There may be more pardons, and he's going to have to pardon 1,000 people to get to these lawfare people. You know, I'll tell you, somebody else we're not seeing on the list. The Homeland Security Secretary, Mayorkas, who's overseeing this Invasion USA that's going on. I don't see him on the pardon list. Why'd Mayorkas do this? He's getting something out of this invasion, right? What Merrick Garland did and the people in his office did, criminal lawfare. They were coordinating with these other prosecutors, Letitia, Bragg, Fannie, right? They were all coordinating. These are all crimes. I don't see any of them on the pardon list. And even if the big names are on the pardon list, are there staffs? And the staffs are the ones that actually do the work. They get the order to do it from their boss, and then the staff carry it out. So they committed crimes too. So no, this is very good. You know, we can't change the pardons happen. All you can do is look at them and see how we can use the pardons to our advantage. All right. I'd like to hear your thoughts on all of this. Our number is toll free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll free call no matter where you are listening to us from. Hey, we got a call from Ukraine this morning. A perv and a creep, but still, he called us from Ukraine on our number, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Yeah, that sounds better. Yeah, that sounds better. All right, I'm going to put you on hold. It'll be a couple minutes, all right? We're in break. All right. Oh, if you're on hold, hang in there. I mean, what would you give the odds? We got 2 minutes. We'll be back in 2 minutes. What would you give as the odds that any of those big names would have gone to jail? What are the odds? But I think it's better to correct the historical record of Trump's name. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? Well, let me see if there's been any updates. Mm-mm. Adam Schiff got a pardon. A sitting United States Senator just got a pardon. Think about that. Okay, stand by. 20 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We got another update on this huge story. You back with us, Steve? Steve, you back with us? All right. Once, twice. All right. I'm going to have to... let me try one last time, then we'll go back to our other calls, and I'll give you the updates. All right. Hold on. All right. Steve, you back with us?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, you sound perfect. Great, we got it fixed now. Great.
Well,
we got an update.
Take this in a different direction because I've got something bothering me, and I'd like to bounce it off you.
Okay, I got an update.
Is that doable?
Is it on the pardons?
It's yes, absolutely.
Okay. I just let me give the update, and then take. We got it. Okay, so we got an update on the list. Biden has just issued a bunch of pardons. Dr. Fauci got a pardon. General Milley got a pardon. The entire J6 committee got a pardon, which includes Liz Cheney, Benny Thompson, Adam Schiff, Jamie Raskin, and others. So a sitting United States Senator, Adam Schiff, has also gotten a pardon. So that's the update. All right, Steve, go ahead.
I don't understand. I've been following this thing heavy duty straight through. And what I don't understand is why you, and make it personal rather than generic, why it is that so many people who support our commander-in-chief are not following his instructions. I hear him saying very clearly that he's finished. He doesn't want to dwell on the past. He doesn't want to go into the past. We got plenty of work to do to get things calmed down, and a lot to accomplish working together. And yet the people who he's talking to, which presumably is those of us who follow him and who believe in what he's saying, don't seem to take that seriously, and they keep wanting to prolong the conflict. Can you explain that to me?
Well, first off, this isn't the past. This is happening as we speak. These pardons, the ink's not even dry.
But what we're talking about is whether to let go of
sins
of the past. as opposed to letting go and getting
Trump hasn't said leave this stuff alone and don't talk about it or pursue it.
Sure he has. His latest statements this morning were about not dealing with the past and concerning with the positive and what's going on now, the good things that are going on now, and working together and not alienating our enemies.
No, I think you misread what he's saying. I think when he talks about the past, I think he's talking about the last election. Forget about that. That's over, and I'm here now. I think that's what he's talking about. I don't think he's talking about these criminals. Steve, the reason this is important, when we were working out your situation, you missed this. Listen, Fauci, Milley, Liz Cheney, and Adam Schiff, chances are none of them are going to go to see any jail time, all right? None of them. However, what's very important to me, and I think to President Trump too, is to clear his name in the historical record. The historical records, which are written by liberals and the fake news media, have labeled him an insurrectionist president who led an insurrection against the U.S. government on January 6th. Okay? Now that these treasonous people have been pardoned, I'm not seeing anything about pardoning of their staff who actually did the crimes. When you have been,
and that's because Donald Trump, who we share a great admiration for, is saying we've got work to be done, we got business to do, quibbling over things in the past is not.
He's not talking about this. Agenda. He's not talking about this. I don't think he's talking about this.
He's talking about everything. He's talking about getting his agenda through.
He wants to
get. Which he can only do with the cooperation.
No.
Of a lot of people who in the past haven't agreed with him.
No. In fact, he's going to pardon all the J6 prisoners today, probably, after he's inaugurated. That's in the past. No. I think you're misreading what he's saying. President Trump wants his name cleared.
Well, I think that's the issue I personally would like to talk about. If anybody out there agrees or disagrees with what I'm saying or what Brian's saying, I would like to hear which one of us you think is going wild here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I think you're misreading what he's saying. I don't think he's talking about any of what we're talking about right now. And this story,
I mean, you've decimated. We've decimated the. When you look at liberal, what do they call it?
Okay, we got another update on the pardons. Okay,
business taxes.
Hold on a second here.
So all.
Hold on a second here. We got another update.
Now business taxes.
Hold on a second here. I hit that by mistake. He has also pardoned the staffs of all of these people. So now we got an update. He has not only pardoned the J6 committee, but their staff.
What do you make of it?
They committed hardcore lawfare treason, hardcore crimes.
So why is he pardoning them? What does it
well,
mean
Trump didn't pardon them. Biden pardoned them, not Trump. Biden's covering up crimes. He's trying to make crimes go away.
So what do you do with the statements that
Trump
has made?
You're misreading what Trump said.
So you think he's saying what?
I think when he says about the past, he says forget about the 2020 election. I think that's what he's talking about. He said he's saying move on from that. I don't think he's talking about moving on from this. He wants to clear his name.
Do you have any question in your mind whether his name is cleared or not?
No, it's not. In our mind, it is.
See, that's where we differ.
The official historical record.
Vindicated.
No, not in the historical record. You want to take some calls?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's take some of these calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling? Hold on. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joan from Tampa Bay.
Hey, Joan.
Tell Steve the American people want the truth out.
Exactly.
We want to know what these people did. I mean, even if they won't go to jail, they just have to enlighten the entire American public of what shenanigans have been going on.
Exactly. I don't think Trump means this. I think he's talking about 2020. What do you think when he says forget about the past?
Probably,
Yeah.
But
All right, Joan. I appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff in northern Michigan.
Hey, Jeff. You're on the air.
Hey, well, I think your analysis is always a step ahead or two, but are you remembering that we got 3.5 more hours for this putz to ride in the limo with Trump? He could be signing them all the way on the way.
Of course.
To the,
We've gotten several more pardons since this broke less than an hour ago. They keep coming out. Now we got their staff has been pardoned. It started, it was just there's the big names. Now it's their staffs.
Yeah, I think you've got you're going down the right path with if they commit a crime of perjury or something, that's probably.
But now that they've all been pardoned, they have to testify because none of them, including the staff, cannot take the Fifth Amendment. They can't incriminate themselves.
Right.
And if they lie, they've committed perjury and they could go to jail. If they lie about this when they're called to testify because they lost their Fifth Amendment, then they could go to jail. So we're going to clearing Trump's name in the historical record. The historical record has him as an insurrectionist.
Agreed. Yeah, you're going down the right path with. We're not going to get them for everything that they really committed crimes for, but he's got Pam Bondi, boy. Oh boy,
this is great.
Morning.
This is great. It doesn't mean just because they're pardoned doesn't mean they can't be commanded to testify when Pam Bondi looks into it. Well, I think Steve is off base. I think when Trump says move on, don't look at the past. He's talking about the last election. Because
he's got a ride to the White. Are they doing it in the Capitol or the White House now?
The Capitol. Last we heard. All right, let's take another call here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. How are you today? It is a great day, no doubt about it. But I must tell you, this issuing of pardons at the last minute, it does sour you a bit. Where is the limit when he can stop signing the pardons? Is it at the moment that Trump signs?
He could sign pardons while he's sitting behind Trump, waiting to take the oath. Until the oath is completed, he can sign pardons.
It does sour you. It does leave a bit of a sour taste because these people that he's pardoning are just an abomination. I know what you're saying about Trump clearing his name, and he deserves to have his name cleared. But it does leave, Now, is it possible to override a pardon with an executive order?
No.
Yeah. See, that's the problem.
Listen, we can't change what he's doing. This is not unexpected. But the only thing that we can do is where can we move on from it? And I think Steve's misreading it. I think Trump wants his name cleared in the historical record of the United States. I think that's important to him.
Yes. Yeah. It's important to me too. I mean, he is just incredible.
I mean, he never had to be cleared with us. We know he did no wrong always.
That's right.
But when
he's been cleared all the time with me. He's had a clean slate from me from day one. But this guy signing these fights, it's like what's he collecting? His 10% on the way to the inauguration. This
ka-ching, ka-ching.
It leaves a sour taste. But
hey, who's surprised? Who's surprised? I'm not surprised.
No, I'm surprised he hasn't just given a blanket pardon to his entire administration.
Yeah.
Everybody above and the people in the media who covered up for this guy.
Yeah. So now we have. Biden's pardons also applies to a litany of people involved in the J6 Select Committee investigation. So it is expanded to their staffs. So this is a great admission. All right, I appreciate the call. We're gonna take our break for the bottom of the hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, hang in there. Our number is 1-888-465-2631. Remember, you're all invited to come meet Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, at Wings Plus. We'll be there for our Trump inauguration watch party at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs. Remember, Wings Plus is located about 1 mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. There's plenty of parking. It's a very big, long parking lot. You can also park across the street. All right? That's high noon today. Wings Plus, the Sample Road location. We'll see you there. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back. Yeah, I lost you. I lost you. I lost you. But we're in the. This is the bottom of the hour break. I'm gonna put you on hold, but I'll check back with you before we come back. Okay? Why? Well, I got time. What's up? What situation? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I'll call. All right, bye. Hold on. We'll be back in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, we'll be back. Let me see if there's anything new. Back in about 90 seconds. All right, we're going to be back in about 50 seconds. So next time you hear my voice, we'll be on the air. Okay? And about 30 seconds. Next time you hear me, we'll be on the air. Hold on. Welcome back. I'm Brian Craig, joined, of course, by Steve Kane on a very big news day. You back with us, Steve? Steve, you're back with us. I got to hear you.
I can hear you barely.
All right. Well, I got you. So this is a big news day. I mean, now the pardons are extending to the entire J6. This may be the largest blanket pardons in history, because how many people are on the staff of the J6 committee? It's got to be like hundreds of people.
And what do you think is the significance of?
I told you, we're going to clear, it's an admission on their part of their crimes. That's number one, right?
You're telling me that's what, if I ask them, that's what they tell me?
What, you expect Liz Cheney to confess? I'm very confused where you're coming from on this today. I don't get it.
I would agree with you. That's the first thing you said. I really agree with you. You're very confused.
What am I confused about? Do you want to take some calls? We got a full board.
Let's take calls.
All right, now I want to remind you all this before we go to the calls. All of you are invited to come meet Steve and me today at Wings Plus for our Trump inauguration party. I've got a doctor's appointment after the show, and that I'm going to at 10, and then I'm going to go from the doctor's appointment to Wings Plus. So I'll be there before noon.
Because I'm going to get there between 11 and 12.
Yeah.
And I may be leaving a little early, but
I'll be there about.
Get up there by
well, you want
11.
I'll be there between 11 and 12 too. Exactly what time I don't know because I got a doctor's appointment right after the show. I made the appointment and I kind of forgot about the doctor's appointment. I mean, I forgot about the event and the doctor's appointment. They were both made at the same day. But I will be there, and I'll be there early, and you're all invited. And Wings Plus...
Be there or be square.
That's right. Wings Plus is about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. There's lots of parking. You can also park across the street. But the parking lot is as long as an airport runway. It's the longest parking lot. You could actually land a plane there if there were not cars in the parking lot. No, these pardons are great. This is a gift in so many ways. All right, Steve, I'm going to try to take these calls. If I lose you, I'll call you back during the next break. But let's go. You're on the air. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Nope. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I'm losing everybody now. Hold on. All right, let me try this one. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian.
Hey, what's your name?
Tom, Florida.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom, Florida. Hey, Brian, do you think that Trump should pardon every single one of the January 6th individuals that were at the Capitol that day?
I don't know if you should. No, there's some Antifa there, some federal agents that were doing some crimes. There was that cop that shot Ashley Babbitt.
Yeah, well, yeah, she was also trying to enter into.
No, she was trying to stop things.
Chamber of Commerce, and if she got in, who would have known what would have happened? So basically, anybody who assaulted a police officer or anybody like that, they're all Antifa, right?
No.
In
fact, Vice President J.D. Vance said that if somebody assaulted a police officer, they would not receive a pardon.
Thank you. I agree. All right. Thank you for agreeing with me on that. And also, too, it's like, you think Trump's going to go after these people and prosecute them?
He can't go after them now. No, presidents don't prosecute people.
Okay. Well, I mean,
that's another part of the
when
system.
Hillary's emails were going to arrest her, and nothing happened.
You're babbling. Presidents don't arrest people.
I'm not babbling.
Presidents don't charge people. Okay. Presidents don't try people.
Okay. Regardless if he gives the order.
They don't give orders to do that. They don't have the authority to give orders.
They don't give orders to do that?
No, they don't have that authority.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
I know you haven't gotten the talking points yet from MSNBC, so you don't know what to say.
No. I'm with Dave Chappelle.
What do you mean you're with Dave Chappelle? Okay, all right. Yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, boy. This is one of those days, guys. The Trump derangement syndrome sufferers are at full swing here. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. What we're getting, guys, is just to let you know what's going on here. We're getting a stream of Democrats that are in a complete panic, which I understand. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mello from Orlando. How you doing, Brian?
All right, Orlando.
Hey, listen, man. The scary thing to me is this guy going to pardon that murderer who shot Ashley Babbitt in the Capitol?
No.
I have a feeling that's coming too. And
Oh.
that would be a shame.
I haven't seen him on the list yet. I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, we can't control what Biden. We can't control what Biden does. He can pardon up until Trump is sworn in. So
Yeah,
he's
I know,
going.
man.
So
It's-
so
you
so
know
he's
what's
going to
coming.
do what he does.
Hey, Brian, on an up note, man, on a high note, did you see last night when the Village People sang in front of Trump on stage?
I did. I kind of like when they play the recording from '77 better, but but it was pretty cool.
Dude, that was so great. Yeah, the older guy singing in front of him, he was dancing up there. Man,
Well,
this
there
was
were
a great
only
day for
there were
America.
only two original Village People: the cop and the army guy. The cop and the army guy. The other ones were not the originals.
The Indian guy doing the YMCA thing, that was great. It was right next to Trump. It was,
Yeah, but
I was laughing.
it was good. I liked watching Trump dance with them, but I think Trump was a little disappointed when he met them because he made a comment about how they were larger than they used to be. He hadn't seen them in person in a while, and they didn't sound as good.
That Uncle Sam guy he was talking about, that guy was at CPAC a couple of years ago.
That's right.
Here in
That's right.
Orlando.
All right, listen, I
He was
appreciate the
saying-
call. Take care, man. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Vincent Wellington, how's it going, Brian?
All right, Wellington.
Yeah, it's pretty insane to see this guy just throwing pardons out like they're lures on a fishing rod. I can't believe that we're at this point, and it's this close to the inauguration of Trump, and this guy is still running scared like a cockroach or a mouse to hide the crimes that these people have done this entire time.
What are we going to do? There's nothing we can do about it. I only get upset
Right,
about
I
things
know.
that I can control. I have no control over this. President Trump has no control over this. We can only take these disgusting pardons and see what we can do with them. And since they can't be charged, they can't take the Fifth Amendment. They can still be called to testify under oath under penalty of perjury. And if they lie to Kash Patel's FBI agents, they've committed new crimes of which the pardons would not apply.
Right, yeah.
Right?
I mean, hopefully we get him in there with some committee one day on our own. But that's all we can really hope for with that. I mean, I'm not depressed about it. I'm still happy Trump's walking into office, but these liberals, they're just going to scream and cry and yell no matter what we do. So,
Exactly.
you
All right,
just gotta-
I'm going to run, but appreciate the call. Yeah, this is awesome. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Rob from Knoxville.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, I want to know if Tom thinks that Michael Byrd ought to be prosecuted for shooting Ashley Babbitt.
Well, the caller before you thinks that Byrd, he's the cop that shot Ashley Babbitt. He's expecting a pardon for him. I would not be surprised. That one would upset me.
Oh.
That one would upset me.
That would upset me. She was a 14-year veteran. She was unarmed, and he shot her at close range in the neck. And anyway, that's all I have to say.
Okay, I appreciate the call. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name?
Hey, Brian, it's English Gary. How are you?
Oh, English Gary. Long time no see.
Yeah. Could I just, before I make my point, could I make a shameless plug to one of your sponsors?
Of course.
Dr. Richard Appleton. Myself and my wife, early 60s, I've got arthritis problems in my neck. He's worked wonders for me. My wife, early 60s, back problems. He's worked wonders for her. So I suggest to any of your listeners that have any ailments, get over and see him because he will help you.
Absolutely. Dr. Appleton does great work. All right, so what's on your mind, Gary?
Well, I mean, what time is it? 8:45. Don't be surprised before 9 o'clock if he's pardoned the trifecta, the brother and the sister.
Yeah,
And quite possibly, he may even pardon his wife.
he should.
She's probably been signing all the bills.
Yeah, that's right. He very well may. You know, listen, we can't control what Biden does, so I'm not going to get upset about it. Trump's going to be back.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I mean, and I know a lot of people are going to get pissed off. Listen, when Biden gets off the plane in Delaware this afternoon, that's the last time we're going to see him. So don't worry, we can't control him. He'll be signing pardons on the way to the inauguration. I mean, this is nuts.
Yeah, I'm shocked that the brother and the sister's not been pardoned already.
Well, it's still
that to the last minute.
It's not even 9 o'clock yet.
That's true. That's true. Well, I'll get off the phone. I'll look forward to seeing you guys over at Wings Plus, Brian.
Absolutely. We'll be seeing you there. English Gary. And Gary goes with us on our cruises. All right, listen. We're going to take our last break and be right back. Hey, it's Brian. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold. Stand by. Hey, I don't know why we're having problems today, but I'm gonna get to you after the gold report. I'll put you back on, okay? Hold on. Welcome back, everyone. It's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated. William Youngerman, how the metals starting the week off?
Oh, the metals are doing fine. Yesterday or Friday, we saw gold trade giving us a little bit of a buying opportunity, dropping $12.60, but remaining well above the $2,700, closing out the day at $2,702. Friday, we saw silver close at $30.31, platinum was $9.38, and palladium was $9.35. Overnight, we've seen gold trade in a range of $26.83 on the low, all the way up to $27.13. It did dip down again below $2,700 earlier this morning, but right back up over $2,700 right now at $2,704. So we are finding that it's building some support above that $2,700 number, which could propel us to test the $2,785 all-time record high that we saw last year. That being said, we're still looking for new highs this year. $2,704 right now on gold, up $2. Silver down 21 cents at $30.10. Platinum down $1 at $9.37, and palladium down $17 at $918. And that's pretty much where we're starting off this very important day.
Wow, this is all great news. I mean, this is crazy. What did you say gold's at right now?
$2,704.
Wow, that's amazing. Listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. and remember, guys, everything at William Youngerman's all the metals are available for immediate delivery, which means you walk in and you walk out with the metals in hand. Give him a call. His number is toll free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, which is located on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can find both William Youngerman's address and phone number on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take
Thank you.
care. All right. Sorry, Steve, we've been having some issues today, but this is an exciting day, and I think when this sinks in with you, Steve, you'll be more into what's going on here with the pardons.
Perhaps.
You know, there was a caller in the last segment, though, did make there's one pardon that they're expecting, and this one would be very upsetting. And that would be if Biden pardons the cop that shot Ashley Babbitt dead. That would be upset. That would be very bad. You know, that would be very bad. Well, I mean, you're saying we shouldn't even talk about the pardon, Steve? I don't understand what you're suggesting.
I'm saying that Donald Trump has put out a very ambitious and positive agenda. 200 items, from what I understand, that there was coming out today sometime around midday. We're going to get to watch it at Wings Plus, which is going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Dining on those incredible best wings in town. And he wants, by his example, he's not being nasty to them. He's not taking shots at them, which he likes to do because he's like you and I in terms of his talk technique. He likes to be sarcastic. He likes to be funny. He likes to ridicule. He uses all those things to maximum effect. But he has taken a different stance now. He's saying we've got work to do. Let's get to do it. And all this, the previous conflict is just getting in our way.
Okay, so
we need allies in Congress.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so I don't agree that that's what Trump is saying do, but let's, for the discussion, because that's your position, let's say that's the way it is, right? So with this breaking news happening right now, what are we supposed to do on the program? What should we be talking about then? The path forward to the golden age? Are we not supposed to talk? I don't understand what you're suggesting we do on the air.
There is, we can address the agenda when it comes out. I mean, guys, there are 200 items, some of which are probably we've heard before, but most of it probably fresh and new. And the theme that I hear Donald Trump promoting, that I feel is more positive, is time has come to lay down our tomahawks and get along and put all that energy that we put into the negative attack that we've been. And you know me, I'm Mr. Joe Pine. I'm Mr. Negative Attack. That's how you were trained to do talk radio. But there comes a time when maybe you got to bury the hatchet. You should pardon the expression.
Bury the hatchet? I don't know about. Oh, now right before the break, English Gary called in, and he was praising Dr. Philip Appleton. And I got to tell you, English Gary and his wife, they've been on all our cruises. They're going on this cruise with us in March. And I've known Gary and his wife for many, many years.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. And when and all the years that he's been with us, for him to go out of his way and praise Dr. Appleton the way he did is an endorsement that is such a powerful, meaningful endorsement. And Gary and his wife are very athletic people. So they, and as you grow older, when you're athletic, no matter what kind of shape you're in, those aches and pains, they still are coming in. Dr. Appleton has rid me of pain 7 times. And I don't know what I'd be like if it wasn't for Dr. Appleton. Steve, I'd be in so much pain, I wouldn't be able to stand up if it were not for Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. Listen, take my advice, take the advice of Gary. Go see Dr. Appleton. Remember, appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Go see Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain. Well, Steve, President Trump said that the agenda is going to start at about 2 o'clock today. So, we got to get through all the ceremony. He's got to get Biden and Kamala on their planes and out of D.C., and then the agenda is going to start to happen, and it's going to be big. I am expecting, and maybe you are too, a big immigration roundup at some point today. The way Homan's been
that's
talking.
how it's been promoted. There's no question of that.
Yeah, and I think this talk about Chicago very well may be like a military maneuver, like a distraction. Have all the liberals
Made
look.
it clear that Chicago is just the first step. That they plan on going to other places today as well as Chicago.
Yeah. So I was watching this morning before I went on the air. The Associated Press, they interviewed this woman who is teaching migrants on what to do if you get the knock on your door from immigration. And none of it involves surrendering. It all involves asking for warrants and talking about your rights and all this kind of stuff. If these people are so interested in the rule of law, why are they here? They're all illegal. I mean, I don't think Tom Homan's going to wait around for that. It's this is insane.
No, I think I take Tom at his word.
Oh.
I think what you see is what you get with that.
Yeah.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
The team that Trump has put together is so different than the first team. It's there were some competent people there, but there were a lot of the people that were with Trump in the first term are like permanent political Washington people, which are like college professors, do-nothings. The people he has now are doers, like Homan and Bondi and all of them. These aren't people that sit around and talk and worry about red tape and bureaucracy. They just do stuff, right? You know what I mean?
There are people that we would call them mess kickers.
Yes.
They're people that
yes.
know how to shake things up.
Yeah, exactly. So I just have a feeling that President Trump, if you notice his speech, did you catch the rally last night with Trump, Steve?
I caught everything.
Oh my gosh, that was so great. But if you notice, he came out really early for Trump. And I think the reason he came out early, he wanted to get to bed early and be well rested because he's got a big day today. And and President Trump, he's great at many things, but what he's best at is marketing and media manipulation. So I'm expecting something big.
I'd rather call it communication.
Well, he knows how to take command of the news cycle.
That's correct. He knows how to communicate his ideas to the people that work for him.
And if you think these pardons and Biden, like we said, we're still waiting for the pardon of his brother and sister. There could be a pardon for Jill Biden in the mix. We're waiting for that today. No matter how outrageous the Biden pardons are, okay, we're going to get some really good pardons today from Trump, right? I'm not just the J6 prisoners. I'm hoping the pardon will come today of that grandma that Biden put in prison for praying in front of an abortion clinic. That's one I'd like to see. So there's some really good. Some really good pardons coming from Trump today. That we'll celebrate those. Now, I want to remind everybody about Wings Plus. Now, Steve and I, we don't do a lot of appearances, and I don't even think, Steve, we've seen each other in person since the cruise. So we don't even make appearances. Yeah, so we don't even make appearances to each other. We talk on the phone all the time, but but we don't see each other that often because we're at different locations. And we do not do a lot of personal appearances, Steve and I, especially together. The cruise we do, that's a yearly thing. But if you're not on the cruise, you don't have many opportunities to see us. So come today. And not only that, we had a inauguration party for Trump's first inauguration at Wings Plus. And let me tell you, nothing is more exciting than watching Trump's inauguration with a group of your MAGA brothers and sisters, the listeners of the Steve Kane Show. You are going to have a great time. You're going to have great food, great wings. Don't miss out on the fries, by the way. When you order the wings, order a basket of fries, too.
Extra crispy.
Yeah. I mean, everything at Wings Plus is homemade. Nothing comes out of a can. If you get the clam chowder, it is homemade right there. Nothing comes out of a can at Wings Plus, including the delicious sauces. Everything is homemade right there. Nothing comes out of a can. It's amazing, and you'll know with every bite. The food is great. My mouth is watering. My stomach's growling, and I was eating at Wings Plus for years before we were talking about them on the radio. But they have been with us. Steve, Wings Plus has been with us for over 15 years on the Steve Kane Show. Is that something?
I think it's over 20.
It's got to be. I'm trying to do the math in my brain. I'll have to think today. And I'll remember the first time. But the first time you had a meal there, the next day you came into the radio station with a menu. We were doing spots for them. But we're going to have a great time today. Wings Plus is the restaurant you can wear your MAGA gear to without worrying, by the way. The servers, Wings Plus has their own MAGA hats that they offer. So, so it's a very MAGA business. Wings Plus, we're at the Sample Road location in Coral Springs, is about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. The inauguration is noon. Steve and I will be there between 11 and 12. I've got to race to a doctor's appointment from here, and I'm going to go right from my doctor's appointment to Wings Plus. And I'll be wearing my MAGA gear, and you're all invited. And you'll get to meet some of our kooky callers, too. They always show up. And I'll point them out to you. But make sure you come up and talk to Steve and I. You know what we look like, but we don't know what you look like. Okay, guys? That's at noontime for President Trump's inauguration. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane has been here. We'll see you at Wings Plus at noon and back on the radio tomorrow at 6 a.m. Thanks for listening, everybody. God bless Donald Trump. All right, I'll see you at noon, Steve. Take care, everyone. See you at Wings Plus. All right, we're clear. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. I do have a doctor's appointment this morning, so I do have to run. And when I scheduled the doctor's appointment, I did not realize that it was going to be right before the thing. So I'm in a time crunch. I'm going to go to the appointment early and get in early. But you're all invited. I hope to see you all at Wings Plus. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be a great party. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video. All right? I will see you, hopefully, at Wings Plus or here next time I'm on. Take care.